The observer would like to advise that the following video comes with a trigger warning. The content in this video is of a sensitive nature, so please beware that the topic of this video may trigger you. The observer recommends that you consider your own mental health before you watch this video.
Messaged each other on a daily basis, and Kirsten told me that I wasn't allowed to be, I needed to ignore everything she said. Everything she said was bullshit. She didn't have any of her conditions. There was nothing wrong with her. And any photos she sent me were fake and obviously off the internet. And I was like, really? Is it? But really? And then basically she tried to convince me not to be her friend anymore. And I said to her in no uncertain terms that wasn't happening, because I really like Neve and I'm not going to not be friends with her because she told me not to, and I wasn't going to be controlled in that way. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, did an 8-year relationship with that shit, not doing it with a friend. And so I carried on talking to Neve, and I had to promise Kirsten that I would never talk to Neve about Kirsten. And Kirsten even went so far as asking me to screenshot my messages between her and myself to show them to Kirsten so that she could see that I definitely wasn't talking about her. I obviously refused to do that because I'm not a psychopath. So I refused to do that, which she didn't like.
I beg to differ on the psychopath bit.
Yeah, I beg to differ too.
Which she didn't like. I'm a nice person, I'm not a psychopath.
Most of the time, you're a very nice, lovely individual.
I'm not clever enough to be a psychopath. Yeah, it is pure manipulation and controlling behaviour. That is what she is like, unfortunately. But yeah, exactly. That's the thing, Sunny. I'm blunt and I'm straight to the point, and I wasn't taking that shit. And so that's when the kind of start of the decline of our relationship came about. It started declining at that point and then just got worse and worse, to the point where I was getting threats constantly and she was sending loads of people after me, because that's what she does. Sorry, Sally, what did you want to say, darling?
It's a bit of a rant, I'm afraid.
That's fine.
Right, hang on. Right, okay. How many people are in there? Not enough people.
Now?
There's not enough
people. Okay, wait a
Have you
minute.
got your Prosecco?
There's not enough people in there for what I want to say. I'm absolutely
Have
fucking
you got your
screaming.
Prosecco?
Just do it. Come on.
No, she
There's
might not want
wine
to
in the
repeat
hand.
herself.
Everybody run.
She might not want to repeat herself, so she might want to wait
You're
a
going to get a
bit.
Sally rant. Okay, I'll start ranting. You can share to everybody, please. Number one, I have never said, never, that people can't do an exposure on Kirsten. Couldn't give a fuck. What I did say was I didn't want to be part of a hate train. Yeah? Because I wanted to protect those around her and her herself, right? I've always said it, okay?
Yep.
So a creator who's shitting me out, or his words, cunting me out online right now, okay, saying I'm not to be trusted. Don't give me your information. I have told every single victim to go to the police on their own. Yeah?
Is
Not
this
me.
Bobby?
Right? I have told
Bobby?
every single victim to go to the police, go to social services, go to their MP themselves. All I'm doing is coordinating it, because we're dealing with the crime commissioner. And that person, and you know who you are, because apparently you're in my Discord and I hunted you out. Yeah? Come and see me. Come see me. Come see me. I'll show you the information. Because apparently I'm not trusted.
That's nonsense.
Yes, not to make
Well, that's
hateful
a load of
videos.
bollocks, because
So someone said,
I
you
will say
said
this, I trust Sally with my life.
Me too.
Same here. 100%.
I'm
I
not,
trust
I'm
that
not
with
a
everything.
stage door wannabe.
That well.
I'm not a stage door wannabe. I'm not on no thing. Yeah? I don't want to be famous on TikTok. I don't want to be anything. Actually, I wish I didn't give a fuck about people, because the last 10 weeks of my life, spending, and people know who they are because they've spoken to me, yeah? Like digging people out of things, or covering people, or all the things that I've done is to help people. And I wish I hadn't bothered, because this toxic, nasty shithole of an app is full of wankers. End of. Full of wankers. Honestly, I'm absolutely fuming what I've just heard. Absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
Is this Bobby?
Why is it?
I don't even want to speak the name. They know who they are. I don't even want to speak their name. I did not punt them off.
I want to know who they are.
I didn't want to be part of
I want to know who they are.
No, I'm going to say, I said I didn't want to be part of a gossip live, and I'll show you their messages. I said I didn't want to be part of a gossip live because that person does stuff on other creators like Lucy Rose and Alpha Black, and they're still on the app, and that's not what we wanted. That's all I said.
No.
That's all I said.
Can everyone?
Honestly, I'm fuming.
What I'll say is, did you see his video? Because yesterday he went live and he said at the start of his live, I want everyone to go and watch the video that I posted earlier today. So I went and watched it, and he made a direct threat to someone. And I'm not going to say what he said because I'm not going to repeat it. Hi, Luna. I'm not going to repeat it. But his comment was a threat, a direct threat, not to Kirsten, to another user. And it was repulsive. And he said, I did say that. Yeah, I did say that. And what's the problem with me saying that? And I was like, and I'm watching it thinking, you're not normal. That is not normal. Now, all of Sally's lives, see the difference between me and Sally. Sally has secondary experience with Kirsten. I have primary experience with Kirsten. And most people who are in my lives have had primary experience with Kirsten. So they've either watched her, they've modded for her, they've had money taken off her, etc., etc., etc. No, it's mine. My Wi-Fi's being shit at the minute. I don't know why. People in my lives have had direct influence and direct problems with her. Now, people in Sally's a lot of them have had direct dealings with her as well, but Sally deals with facts. So Sally will take something that Kirsten says, like a whole thing that she did earlier today of ketones being there because it's what was it she used? What were the letters she used?
She talks shit when it comes to endocrine. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. The girl.
No, what were the letters she said though? What were the letters she said? Because she said the wrong set of 3 letters, didn't she?
I know what she's on about.
1, 2, 3.
Because she said a set of 3 letters and said the wrong set of 3 letters. ALK, thank you, Secret Haven. Thank you. RC, this is why I like my audience. You're all ace. She said ALK levels, and it's actually ALT levels. And so Sally will do a live. Hi, Connie. Sally will do a live and say...
What, hang on, Emily. What do you mean she's going on about ALT levels?
She was going on about one of her levels. Who I reposted it. If you look at my latest reposts, you'll see the video because I shared it.
We were saying it was about a liver and her ALK levels were high.
Yes.
And they were worried because she got jaundice and she was a bit yellow in the eye.
Well, she wasn't
As somebody who is in active liver failure.
Here. Not the eyeball here.
I am still here.
As someone who is in active liver failure, that's not the only test they do for your liver.
No, it's not. I agree.
And I can tell you now, that girl has fuck all wrong with her liver. I'll post a picture of me, yellow. Don't say what the tests are because then she'll come back with that.
She will.
But can I just say, please, if you've been a victim, please report it to police. Oh, wait, you already have done. Please report it to social services. Oh, you already have done. Can I
think
stop
we did that back in June.
Yeah, I started in June. And I pulled up my inbox yesterday of everyone I'd spoken to. If you're on my live yesterday, I pulled up my inbox of who I'd done it because this person's been saying chat and wham about me for ages. And have I stopped anyone doing awarenesses? No. Do I agree with the people that are jumping on the back who've never known her, that maybe have come from the community that we all belong to, most of us, and doing, like, calling her out and being really horrible about it? No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, yeah? The girl's got problems. Do I like her?
And this is the thing.
I don't know her enough to like or dislike her.
Every single one of us, yourself included, Sally, yourself included, Emily, and you, Kirsty, everybody I know that has done a live to raise awareness has stated no bullying, no name calling, don't go after her mods. Because that's not our aim. That's not our aim. Our aim is to get justice for the bullshit that she keeps doing and get the girl help.
Yeah.
Or to help her. Or to try and help her.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's 3 aims. There's one that Sally's been working on the most, which is debunking all of the medical misinformation, which Sally has been working on the most. I do it as well. we all tend to do it because we're all ill and we can all put our 2 pence in with what our conditions are and the fact that she's talking shit. But Sally does the fact-based stuff. We also want her to not get any shit from people because that does not help. We spread awareness of the shit that she's saying and the shit, the storm that you can fall into if you go against her. And we also we want her to get off this app, not because we don't want her on the app, but because her being on the app is causing harm to herself, harm to others, is going to bring further harm to herself and to others, and she needs help. She needs mental health assistance, and that is all we have tried to do from the very beginning.
See, and this is the thing. This is the thing that, like, all these, because I've seen quite a few lives and videos that I do not agree with, where they're making comments about her appearance, they're telling her to wheel herself off a bridge and things like that. That's not on in my book.
Also,
I'm sorry.
they're making her a victim. They're making her a victim. And we've got victims that are children. That are vulnerable or whatever. And like some of the stuff,
people that she's taking thousands of pounds off.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not just
Gypsy.
that, a lot of people
do
not realise by them making her into the victim, everything everybody has done is going to be in and void because she's now a victim.
And some people have gone back because they felt sorry.
Is Oski okay?
Yeah, he's wrecked.
He's off his head on prescriptions.
Oh,
He's off his head on his meds, look. He's off his box, look.
Oh, poor Oski.
Not everyone with mental health struggles starts lying about when it says, yeah, I know, but some people do.
Some people do, unfortunately.
Some people
The thing is,
mental health conditions are all very different, aren't they?
Right, what you will find...
This is the thing. I don't like this girl. I have not ever liked this girl since I first came across her in 2018. Not once have I bullied her. Because I know that by bullying her, she then becomes a victim, and all the hard work everybody's done, especially Sally, and I don't care if she doesn't admit it or not, she's done a fucking hell of a lot of work, people, and you have no idea what she's done.
Yeah.
All of that's going out the window because people are bullying her and turning her into a victim. So everything we've been working on since June isn't going to help.
No.
Because she's now classed as a victim.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, like, I've heard some stuff today that sickened me.
Don't.
No, I'm not going to. But it takes a lot for me to be sickened by comments that people make. But I was sickened today by comments that I've heard. And what people seem to understand is that by making comments like that, as Sally says, you are turning Kirsten into the victim, and that's what she wants. She wants to be the victim, and then what these people don't seem to understand is that anyone who then follows that and makes comments themselves about her as a person, not anything that could be construed as bullying or anything that could be construed as harassment, but like I say about her lying and about how damaging that is to the chronic community and the fact that she can be very vindictive and nasty. That's one thing. That's not bullying. That's my opinion, and it's fact based on messages she sent me. Yeah, exactly. But I would never make comments about harming her.
I've seen this bloke's live. I don't know who he is. Rent a gob or something like that. Don't like him. He's a bully. Okay, I will say it how it is. He is a bully. He goes after people who are vulnerable and bullies them. But when he's making comments like "Tubey girl," when there's about 50 people that I know offhand that have tubes for real, including myself, that's really offensive to us.
Yeah.
When he makes comments about glasses, or when somebody puts on her videos, four-eyed so-and-so, that hurts the rest of the people, not just her.
Exactly.
Agree with you there, Heather. I'm just confused at why so many people are jumping on the awareness lives. But the one I don't get is why's that Stormy getting involved in saying that she's went to police, she's went to social.
Because people are doing it for clout. I'm going to say it how it is. I don't care. I never care. Everybody who knows me knows I say exactly what I think. They're doing it for clout.
I said that on my throwaway account on a page, and she blocked me. So if I go quiet, because I'm trying to deal with animals.
That other line.
someone,
was an
it is not
absolute
for awareness,
shocker.
it's clout.
Did you see that live today?
Sorry, I'm just showing you my
That
cat.
live was ridiculous. And I was in that live.
There's my
I don't
cat,
know what line
Emily.
it was.
Oh, it was Zoe, but not our Zoe, a different Zoe.
Oh, look how waterful the kitty is.
Why are you cooing over the
It
kitty?
looks like blue.
Why are you cooing over the kitty?
Sorry, that's my fault.
I just want to say, if anyone's in here that has been a victim, yeah, have I ever told you that you have to come to me, or have I told you to go to the police and to go to
Told me to
self-service?
go to the police.
Every
No,
single
you
one
always
of
tell me
you-
to come to you. No, not really.
I'm all about control me. It's not like I've got fuck all else to do. I have never ever, so I work for a homeless charity. This is the other point I'm going to say. I work for a homeless charity. I believe no matter what you've done in your past, everybody is worthy of rehabilitation, right? There's some things that maybe I'm not, but we'll just gloss over that bit for now, okay? But you know, you could have stole half a ham from Iceland, you could have done whatever. I believe in rehabilitation and putting people on the right path, okay? And helping them to get on the right path, right? So that's why I've been with Kirsten. I do safeguardings all the time. I work for a charity, yeah? That can be looked up as well, fact. So I'm doing this because I do believe at 25 she should be entitled to a life. I'm not going to sit there and slate her appearance or slate her or anything about it. Even a dad. Do I agree with what they're doing? Absolutely fucking not. But is this more complicated than I thought? Absolutely so.
Yep.
Is this going to take a while? Have you tried before? Is this going to take a while? Yep.
Well, me and Wade were trying for 2 years to get this girl help, and because of online bullying, she kept getting away with it.
Exactly.
She never got any help, and she has done nothing but, I don't know the right word, extubate? I can't say that word.
Extubate.
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 And excel what she's doing. It's getting worse and worse, and it's become more dangerous, not just to her, but to others.
Yep.
Whereas before it was just her that she was putting at risk. She is now putting other people at risk.
Yeah. This is the thing. When you take someone like Kirsten, all she was doing was talking about herself and saying, I've got this health condition, I've got that health condition, I'm so poorly, I'm palliative, I'm end of life, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. Then it's like, right, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. But when we then bring into that the medical misinformation that she spreads, the medical advice that she gives out, and the money that she doesn't obviously take directly from people, as she likes to say herself. She hasn't robbed a bank. No,
Manipulating
but
people.
when you are convincing people, you are going to, hang on, Christy, when you're convincing people you're going to become homeless if you don't have the money to pay your rent, which FYI, she doesn't pay. If you are convincing people that you're going to become homeless because you haven't got the rent to pay, and those people send you that money and they say to you, I can lend you this money, and that she says, I'll pay you back, and then she doesn't pay you back, those are all problems that someone needs to deal with. And unfortunately, most normal people who've got a child, because I know she's 25, but she obviously gets looked after, or, you know, her main carer is her dad, as she says herself. She's stated this numerous times. Her dad is her main carer. Now, if you have a child, a daughter, a son, whether they're grown-ups or not, you still, you know, if you're their carer, you're still responsible for them. And you know that they're doing that, you put a stop to it. No, her father isn't putting a stop to it. We've all reached out and tried. And so we've all taken that next step of going further than that. Yes, it's taking longer than we all expected. Yes, it's taken a lot more work than all of us expected. What people fail to realise is Sally, Heather, various other people, and, you know, Christy,
Wade,
Emma, I don't want to mention any other names because Wade, I don't want to mention any other names because they're not here to speak for themselves. But all of these people are working their fucking asses off behind the scenes, including myself. I'm getting messages after messages. I'm replying to all these messages and trying to get information from people. I'm also getting people who are now, finally now, after me doing several lives, feeling comfortable enough to come to me and talk to me. They're not quite ready to put their story forward yet, but they have come to me and they have offloaded on me. So I'm trying to help them with their mental health, because their heads are fried because they've believed her for so long and they honestly do not know what to do anymore. So I'm trying to advise them. That's just me. Everyone else is doing the exact same thing. Now, Sally is the go-between for all of us and the actual agencies. She is literally working a full-time job at the moment. And people fail
as well as having 2 sick children. Sorry, Sally, but
yeah,
you know, you're not well yourself either.
No, that's what I was going to say. As well as having
chronic illness myself.
Sally's got 2 sick kids. She's got 2 sick kids and she's got illnesses herself. Heather, it's up to you if you want to share what's going on with you.
Not very well. He hasn't been very well for a few weeks. I'm not very well, but you know, and that's why I'm thankful for Sally for helping me, because honestly, I gave up before because I just couldn't deal with my own issues at home and getting her the help she needs. That's why it's got to this stage, because too many of us have stepped away, whereas thank God Sally hasn't yet. But if people keep hounding her and keep making comments about her and calling her gatekeeper and all this bollocks, how is anyone going to get this girl help? How is anyone going to get any justice? Because sooner or later Sally's going to be like, fuck you all, I'm done.
The problem is as well though, there's young girls there who's been watching her, and I seen one earlier on who said she's too terrified to go to hospital to get her tubes put in now because she's been watching her. And she says, I would rather starve and suffer because I'm terrified watching her videos that that's what's going to happen to me.
That is exactly
and this is
an
what
issue I've been having.
That's exactly why we
on
want her off the
Sally's
app.
live a couple of weeks ago, we did a poll. Those who have tubes or those who feel like they can no longer display their illnesses or be open with their illnesses, and it was out of 100, I think it was like 56% didn't want to. Myself, I've had tubes for months and months and months, but for the first time a couple of weeks ago I went out with my tube. Before that I'd put it out because of her. There's no ifs or buts, it's because of her, because I was paranoid people were going to think I was like her.
I was going to say, that's the thing, innit? I was going to say, that's the thing,
sorry.
right? Like, loads of people before, there's been safeguardings put in for this girl. Stormy saying about her safeguarding. She's had the standard response that every single one of you has had. If you've been a victim of Kirsten, go to the police and call your own social working department and say you're a safeguarding risk. Yeah, put a safeguarding in for yourself because you've been vulnerable, right? Every single one person has had, who's gone to contact them, have had exactly the same response as Stormy had, right? I've had it. Heather, you've had it. Everyone's had that same response.
Several services, it's always the same response.
Same response from mental health in Norfolk. Same response. The police, you'll get the same response. You give them a gift. What we're trying to say is
even from my own local mental health team, because I contacted them because I didn't know what to do, because this was before all of this blew up. I didn't know who to contact, so I contacted my own mental health team. I contacted my GP. I spoke to my GP about what I was witnessing. I spoke to my MP about what I was witnessing. I have also sent letters to Norfolk, to Fakenham County Council, to 3 hospitals in Norfolk, to the police in Norfolk, to the safeguarding team in Norfolk, and it is the same response every single time, because they are not allowed to discuss anything about her. Even they can't even tell you they acknowledge who she is, because it would breach data.
They're dealing with it. They're aware of it.
They're aware of the situation, and we are dealing with it with the correct services in place.
So how are they?
Yeah, see, that's where I got off the police, because I rang the police because I was obviously...
Excuse me, but how the heck are they dealing with it? They're just literally
They're not
doing
allowed
nothing.
to tell us. This is the thing, because of data protection.
They're not allowed to tell us.
Look, whether we like it or not, the system is broken. It's broken. I've got a daughter in it at the moment, right? It's broken. Yeah. It's absolutely it's broken. She has been in many facilities and she is a risk to other people. So would you put her somewhere where is an open mental health facility I say open, and a section, when you know that if you don't engage in treatment, they won't have you anyway. I can say this, Esther, she went in, she was very poorly, she went in, they got rid of her after 4 days because she wanted a cigarette. And she was putting herself and the other patients in danger to get a bloody cigarette, and she wouldn't engage in treatment. You're not locked up against your will. You are not Hannibal Lecter. You know, we still...
It's not like it was back in the 60s where they just put you in a padded cell and gave you electric shock therapy. They don't do that anymore. I mean, it's obviously a good thing that they don't do that anymore, but for certain people, it might be a better idea.
Having been on a section myself, I would say, yeah, I agree with Sally. They can't just keep you there. They will
also
release you after a certain amount of time.
They can't deprive you of your liberty. Once they've got you on an equilibrium, like mentally, if you don't want to engage in treatment and you don't want to do what they bloody say you have to do, they can't keep you in there.
Nope.
Also, I want to say...
And the thing is, we've already worked out that if you look at people like Kirsten, and no, Shalom, you're right, it's not all mental illness. She is genuinely an unkind person with vicious tendencies. She is. And she can't say that all of that is, and she can't say that all of that is her mental health, because it's not.
But it's a bloody factitious disorder, Emily.
Someone like Kirsten.
Or narcissistic personality.
But the problem with someone like Kirsten...
Can I also just say,
is
Emily,
because Kirsten...
being in several hospitals with medical and mental health facilities, I can tell you now that she is not allowed to go to some of these facilities because she poses a risk to other patients because she teaches them dangerous ways.
Yeah, no, I was literally just about to say basically that. No, she's a danger for two reasons. One, she's a danger to other patients because she teaches them bad behaviours, and she can also be very impressionable on vulnerable people. We know this to be true. We know this to be fact. She had two people who she tried to convince didn't need their feeding tubes for two very different reasons that I won't speak of now, because I know last time when I spoke about it, it triggered some people, so I'm not going to discuss it now. If anyone wants further information, you can send me a message.
Don't take your epilepsy drugs because you're not an epileptic.
The other thing is, the other side of it is the danger to the, like, I know some people in here, because they'll have very strong opinions, will maybe care less about this side of it, but I care about this side of it no matter how much I dislike Kirsten and the stuff that she's done to me and the people I love. She will pick up on other people's conditions. It's what she does with anyone's health conditions. We all saw. Yeah, we all saw. So not my last live, the live before, I specifically, very specifically, and it is the one and only time, hands up, it is the one and only time I will ever do this, I lied in my life. And I specifically lied because I knew Sally was, Sally, it's because I looked directly at you then. I knew Kirsten was watching. So I said that because they have found the gene, Johns Hopkins Hospital have found the gene that causes hypermobile EDS. They found it. They have found it. However, there is no test for it. And what did she come on and say? The day after my live. The day after. I've had genetic testing and I've been tested and they've discovered I have classic and hypermobile EDS. Well, that's funny because I fucking lied. The test doesn't exist, Kirsten. You
really
idiot.
Did you see the video that she did the other day, yesterday, where she said those that are bullying her could be driving her to do stuff.
Yeah,
and
she's suicidal.
We should reach out and help and offer support rather than go behind her back.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
We've all tried.
She uses that to keep you in.
Yeah, and she
does it with her parents
when you do try to reach out and speak to her. So
she looks for the thing that's the most weakest in a person and goes for that.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is why she went for me with my eye. That's why she decided to make comments about my eye, because she knows that that's something that bothers me and has affected me for a long time. You can in a minute, Euphoria, yeah. It's something she knows that's affected me for a very long time. So she knows that if she uses that specifically, it will upset me.
That's why she makes comments
However,
about...
what she forgets about is...
I don't even want to say the word, but the R word and the S word in disabilities, because she knows my son's got it. And she knows a lot of, not just my son, but, you know, Carly's fight, her mum, she uses it towards her as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say there's people in the comments that have said about messaging me. Any of you can message me. Obviously, depending on what time I come off will depend on whether I reply to you tonight or tomorrow, but I will reply to you. Don't worry, my inbox is always open to anyone who needs help. I'm more than happy to help anyone.
Most of us are happy to help.
So I purposefully lied because I wanted to see if she would copy. And this is the thing, if she is in a closed mental health facility, just like she picks up on literally every most people around here have shared their medical history with Kirsten, and literally within weeks she's suddenly suffering from that as well. Suddenly, and she'll have had it for years. She's had it since birth. She just obviously must have forgotten to mention it, or she did mention it and you've forgotten. She'll do that as well. That's the great thing. She will gaslight you as well. Bird. It's amazing.
She mimics.
Yeah, and she does it all the time. She does it all the time. And if she goes into a mental health hospital, if you imagine how bad she is with her being at home with her fake tubes in and her physical illnesses, imagine how much worse it could be if she comes out of a facility stating she's got 16 different mental health conditions.
She keeps trying to open the blinds behind you, can't.
I know, that's because one of the cats is already in the window and is being a douche. Blue, stop gatekeeping the window. Oscar will mess before,
and that is why she was removed from it, because she nicked drugs, basically. There's no point batting about it. She nicked drugs. She nicked a bottle of morphine.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What did you drop down?
Why?
Right, you four, we'll bring you up in a minute, I promise, but I just want to let other people have the chance to talk. Right, Denise, sorry, what did you want to say, my darling?
Just my biggest thing was that with what she'd said yesterday, that with the people bullying her and what we're saying could push her to do something, or other people like her to do something, and then we would be facing manslaughter charges. Now, I know as an ex-cop that's not true. That's not the case. But there are other people who actually believe that. And there's people that round about her believe that. And they're now are now highlighting that fact that we're pushing her to do something dangerous to herself.
The thing is, we're just trying to advocate we're trying to get her help. So for her to say that we're bullying her, we're not, we're trying to get her help. But it's taking so much longer.
Sorry, not Dennis, Denise, sorry, dyslexia kicked right in there. Can I just, because I don't think people actually fully believe me, but am I correct in thinking that those people that are moderating for her, if she does something wrong, i.e. unalives herself live on air, they are held accountable because they are watching it? Am I correct or wrong?
Sorry, that's correct.
Are we talking about her mods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've tried to warn her mods that if they continue watching her,
they would have to go to a coroner's
help.
Court. They wouldn't be, and it would be seen as they're partaking in someone's unaliving. But it's not like it would be, you know.
But no, but this said person.
It would be the fact that we wouldn't face charges, but
we wouldn't. But this said person who basically threatened basically said a direct threat to Kirsten could be charged with malicious communications as well as threatening to unalive somebody, basically. So
that is true, though. But that is true. So if somebody made a direct threat to her
They did.
via internet, and then something happened to her, she went and did something,
Can
or
I
they
say
did
what
something
it is,
to
Em?
her, then they would be liable.
Wait, hang on. Right, just me, Sarah. Police were called on her dad today at my house, and he was arrested
Doubt it.
at my house. Are you talking about Kirsten's dad, or are you talking about your own dad?
Highly doubt that, but
It's possible, but yeah, I need to know more information on that, darling, please, if you
Hang on,
could.
is this the same person who said
the-
they saw her in the hospital with a video and then never showed anybody the evidence of her walking?
I'm pretty sure.
Just me, Sarah. Have you got any evidence to back that up? Please, don't boot or anything, please, mods. Don't do anything like that, because they've not said anything that's offensive or anything that.
He went to her house, his house.
Kirsten, don't doubt me. It's true. Right? Have you got any proof of that, Sarah? If you can give any proof that can back that up as fact, that would be great.
See, my concern is
if
we've
you'd
had
rather
this
not
before, and I don't mean this horribly at all, but my concern is that you're not very well, because there's been a number of things you've said and have yet to show anybody its truth, even though you've said you've got the evidence. I don't mean to be horrible, but if you need to reach out, we are here for that also.
Right, okay, if you've given the police the information, you have the proof, Sarah, if you want to reach out to either myself or Sally, then, you know, I'm not saying what you're saying is true or not, because I obviously don't know, but if you can message myself or Sally and send any evidence you've got of that forward, that
Heather,
would be
don't
really
make
useful.
me out to be a liar. I am sending her the stuff.
I honestly am not saying you're a liar.
Sarah is sending me over the information. Then once obviously I've got the information, then but she's already reported it to the police, as I've told everyone to do.
I honestly am not calling you a liar, Sarah. I really am not. I just, I've noticed a pattern, and I'm not saying like you're lying at all, but I am concerned that you might need a bit of extra support. I was not calling you a liar, and if that's how it come across, I really do apologise, but that's not what I was saying.
We want to prevent another Kirsten situation.
I didn't call you a liar, Sarah. I promise you, I did not. And if you look back on the YouTube video later, you will see I didn't say you were lying. I literally said I'm worried because you have said things in the past, and I'm worried that maybe you needed some more support. That's what I said.
Emily, the chat is also saying that Kirsten has been sectioned today. Yeah, Soph with the dolphin.
That?
No, she has not.
Yeah, no, I can read that.
She has not. She was on live about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, there you go. She's not. Right, can we try our best to stick with fact? And if you don't know about something, just pose it as a question as opposed to a statement. I'm sorry, my live is glitching. I'm sorry, my live's going funny. I have turned my own internet on instead of the house internet, and it's still been a pain in the butt. So there's obviously something wrong with the networks in my town at the moment. Right, so was there anything else that you wanted to say, Denise? Because I think we've answered you with, we have all tried to reach out to give her support. I personally have reached out to her father because me and him, obviously I modded for 18 months. Him and I were quite close. I used to speak to him on a daily basis. And Sally and Heather can back me up here. And well, Christy can as well. I sent him a very long, very well-measured message in order to help support Kirsten and to give him advice on how to support Kirsten in a healthy way. And I got a one-sentence response that literally said, then there's no helping you.
Yeah, like, God help you,
That was the only response I got. That was all I got back. So, we have tried, but I don't know what else we're supposed to do. I mean, we are trying our best. Sally is doing the most work. We are trying our best to support. I try my best to support everyone who has been affected by her. And Sally is trying her best to get her help and to signpost all those people affected by her.
Stop arguing in the comments. It's doing my nothing.
Also, can I say, if if I say something that offends someone, please just address me, because 9 times out of 10, I've just said it bluntly or wrong, and it's not what I mean. If, like, the way you've taken it is not what I meant.
And you have Tourette's, so you can't see them. I do have Tourette's,
and I do have autism. So I do sometimes say things that might come across a bit iffy or a bit harsh, but it's not what I mean. And those that know me know what. If I'm being rude, I'll be rude to you.
Somebody said I did address you before, though, Heather, and you blocked me now.
Who's this? I can see
give me
you,
a minute.
though, Kira. I haven't blocked you. I took you off my page. There was a big difference. That's all I did, is I removed you from my page.
People are allowed to unfollow you.
Yeah, but Heather should have the right to defend herself.
I didn't even argue with her. I just took her off my page because I'd seen her on somebody else's. I don't know why you can't see my profile at all, because if I can read you and you can hear me, then you're not blocked. So I'm not sure what's going on there, hon.
Right, anyway, let's get back to the situation at hand.
Phoebe, you are correct. You can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped, which is why
I'm going to start muting in a minute. I'm getting fed up of it now.
No, Kira, I put my profile on private because there's a couple of videos of my child on there that I don't want a certain somebody to get hold of. That's the only reason you can't see my profile, because it is private.
Right, okay, no more arguing now, please, because there is no need for it. So stop, everyone. Let's get back to the point which we were discussing, which is... Sorry, Sally, just give me 1 second. We are trying to talk about what support we are giving, and I was going to direct it over to Sally, because Sally is the one who's doing all the freaking work in this department.
I'm just going to put it as blunt as I can, really, okay? So let's be honest with you. Most of the people Kirsten has taken stuff from, or made them do stuff, or threatened to do something to herself so that somebody does something for her, most of the people are people from the chronic illness community. Some of them are under 18, okay? The CPS, when prosecuting somebody, has to look at the people that they're going to be putting in a stand. She has deliberately targeted a certain type of people. I'm sorry, she has. Yeah. That maybe some of them won't make it to the stand. Somebody will be discredited because of something that's happened. She's found out things about people's personal lives, as some other creators have as well. And that she is threatening to expose that. So it's not as simple as, well, they can just arrest her for this. Yeah. She also has the label of factitious disorder, fabricated induced illness, or fabricated induced illnesses by internet. Okay. Whatever label you want to put on it, that's what it is. Okay. The thing is, as I've discovered, that is only specific if you have a primary gain, which that would be emotion or attention. So that would be attention of your parents, attention of medical staff, emotions of your parents, etc., all those around you. Okay. It is supposed to be, if you're doing it for a secondary gain, it is called malingering, and it is a criminal offence. But that has to be recategorised. And who does that? And how can you prove that she has asked somebody for a gift and not somebody who's just genuinely at the bottom goodness of their heart has given a gift? It's not simple. It's far from simple. I thought I would do a live on a Sunday. This would all be sewn up. I'd get a few people come forward. I'd go to the police. I'd go to the safeguarding, exactly like other people are saying to do, right? And Bob's your uncle, Mavis is your auntie, and happy days will skip into the sunset. It's been far from it. And if I'd have known at the very beginning what I've had to do, I wouldn't have fucking took it on. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't have. But as I've said to the police, that they have a duty to serve and protect the community, not just Kirsten. Yes, she might be. They won't even interview somebody these days if somebody is, and I have this with another personal friend, if somebody is threatening to unalive themselves or are of that position, they won't even do it. Does that give you a get out of jail free card? Not necessarily, but they have to go multi-agency And the police have to work with social services, the social services have to work with the integrated care boards. And to get everybody to do that is a complete and utter ball ache. And I think she knows this. I think she's clever. I think she's very clever. I think she's very calculated. I do think she has a narcissistic personality.
Yep.
And she's not stupid. She knows. It's been so frustrating when you think, right, normally for this homeless person or this rough sleeper, I will do this and this will get sorted. But they're not as complex. Simple. They're just not as complex. So we've had to literally, I've got people to go to their MPs. We've gone up as high as the junior cabinet minister. Yeah. Other than to go to fucking Keir Starmer, you know, I've gone to crime commissioners. I've told everybody, you go to your police station, you go and report it to social services. Never have I deviated from that, yeah? The reason I've asked for information, I've asked, give me your crime number, give me whatever, so we can tie it all together and say, right, we know there has been X amount of people. Now, I know Emily's mentioned a number before, but I haven't, because unless I had factual information of a crime reference number, of a whatever, I have never mentioned a number. Because unless we have evidence, I can't mention a number. And it's not my number to bloody mention anyway. I'm not going to disclose people's emails or facts because people have asked me to do that. And when I say no, apparently I'm a gatekeeper. No, that's because, guess what? They're a victim and they're entitled to anonymity. What can you do?
Could I just ask one more question, please? And then I'll go. She yesterday had said to the mods on her page, I'm going to put somebody's name up because I can't say it out loud. And I want you to go after this person. Now, is that not against TikTok rules?
TikTok don't care. TikTok
They don't give a crap. They're too big.
TikTok do not give a shit. They do not give a shit. We've reported it to TikTok. We've reported it to Ofcom, and I've told everybody to do that. Report it to Ofcom, report it to TikTok. They, not being horrible, as long as they're getting money, they don't give a shit.
They earn too much money off of these so-called creators.
And
It's just, I thought it was against
And the problem
rules
is
for her to...
it is. Technically speaking, it is. But I was on, funny enough, I was on a live yesterday, and this live was about controversial topics, shall we say, but I'm not going to go into what they were. And there were some absolutely repulsive comments in the chat section, and I reported every single one of them because they made me feel physically sick, and only one of them came back as being removed because it was against community guidelines. Every other comment, including one that was blatantly racist, was not classed as being against community guidelines. And this is the problem, that unless they decide, they have to decide. It isn't like Facebook where there's keywords, and if you say that keyword, your comment gets removed. They don't do that. TikTok don't do that. And while, yes, I think it's great that we've all got a way that we can share what we want to share and things like that, they seem to pick and choose what they think of as against their guidelines or not. So one of the people that me and Heather know, and Sally, did a video and posted a comment about EDs, and all she wrote was diet, and her comment was removed. Yet I'm on a live and someone is making horrific racist comments, and that's not against community guidelines. TikTok pick and choose what is and isn't. And I've reported Kirsten's lives numerous times. I've reported messages off her numerous times.
I've got reports saying I need a pee-pee.
Sally's done the same. I know Christy has. We have all reported her account, and we all get the same response back, which is not against community guidelines. So her doing medication, her pushing medication on live, that's okay, even though that's against their rules. If you actually look at the rules, it's against the rules. Her messing around with syringes, again, that's not allowed, but she gets away with it. Her passing out on live constantly, her seizures, they're all not allowed because it's medical stuff. It's not allowed on here according to TikTok's rules, but she does it every single night. Without fail, every night. Around midnight, every night, she'll have a fakey shaky. Every single night.
Her medications.
And you report them, you can report... You can report it every night if you want. You can report her pushing her meds, and you can report her having a fakey shaky, and every time it will come back as no violation.
Did she cause direct or indirectly unalive to someone?
Never have any factual evidence.
We don't know.
Can't comment on it.
No,
No
we have no
factual
factual
evidence.
evidence.
And she can't, like, it's Chinese whisper. Can I ask?
I can say, because I know this person, I'm not going to say who it is, but she has caused direct damage to somebody who tried to unalive themselves, who now suffers horrendously.
Can okay, Simba has asked, please can you outline what we can do to help? In my Discord, obviously where we all lie apparently, there are links to your MP, there are links to how to report on Ofcom, there are links on how to report to TikTok. They're actual videos that someone's done for me to step-by-step process you. Get in the Discord, get those links, and do that, Simba. Another thing is, I noticed some of the people that I've been talking to are actually in the live, and I want this question to go to them. So I'm going to address one person, and that's Jean, because I've seen you in here. Have I ever told you to come through me to go to the police? Have I ever told you that I am going to the police for you? Or have I told you, you go to the police yourself, and then we coordinate, I tell you what's going on, you tell me, and we do a pronged approach? If they're still in there, I'd love somebody to confirm, because somebody's saying that I'm lying.
Absolutely
Gina
not.
said
There you go.
absolutely not.
And I'm not going to say how Jean's involved in any way, shape or form, because everyone has the right to anonymity. But literally...
Can I also say, Sally,
Yeah.
that the issue that I discovered recently, I don't want to say what it is, you've told me to go to the police.
Yes, absolutely.
And
we
I've still
discovered it
got
together.
messages.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I didn't know where to go, so I've asked Sally to help guide me. To which she has. She's given me the contact details and the email. She's not contacted on my behalf.
And I will point out, I just want to point this.
She's helped me.
I just want to point this one
Been
out.
told to go to police too.
Mark is someone who I think, aside from a couple of others, Mark is one of the ones who had the most conned out of him by Kirsten.
Surprisingly, he's
And
not.
Mark has put, you told
Yeah, and I
me
did.
to go to the police.
Surprisingly, he's
Sal.
actually not, but it is a substantial amount. And I told Mark to go to the police. And then if he could send it us, then we can go to the powers that be above the police to put pressure down to get something done. I have never, ever, ever. I am not Officer fucking Doofy. I am not Officer Doofy. I am not
Officer Doofy.
I am not involved in it any way. Sally, the police won't take second-hand information. You've done nothing wrong. No, I haven't. But what I've been able to do is go, I know that you have 20 or 30 victims. Billy is trying to make out Sally is working with a scammer. Yep. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Billy has found something out about somebody's past, and he's saying that, but he doesn't know the truth about that neither. He thinks he does, but I'm sorry, but I don't see what it has to do with what people have done in the past. As I said to you before.
Why has he never contacted the so-called victims like myself, like Emily, like Kirsty, and the rest? Why has he never contacted us?
Yeah,
Because he's a bully. He is a pure bully who's doing it for clout. Nothing else, nothing more. He's a bully.
Sally, Mandy C2095 has said, can I just message any mod
Yes,
for the
Cam.
Discord link?
Sally is the feds. Yeah, I'm the feds.
Except for me, because I don't know how to work Discord.
Or you can message me and I'll send you the Discord link.
Yeah. If you message Sally, she's the best person to message because she's the one in charge of the Discord. So I called it the Discord. Fuck, I'm old.
My story was no
feel like my mum.
yeah, it's a long
He's all about
story.
clout, yeah.
But basically, when my child first got a diagnosis, I was put on palliative care, which is not end-of-life care. It just meant they couldn't do any more for me but keep me comfortable and
Apparently
manage symptoms.
Somebody said I thought Emily was police.
No, I think they're joking. No, I'm not police. I
And
wish.
then when I joined a Facebook group with my best friend, we set up a Facebook group for another condition. I had mentioned on that Facebook group about my child's condition. Now, there's only 4 people in the world with his condition. And she then, a week later, tried to claim she had this condition. And I was like, that's impossible, because at the time he was the only one with it. And there was one suspected case. The other case, the child died, unfortunately. But now at the moment, there's 4 still alive. And I was like, hang on a minute. And then so I started looking into her. And then, unfortunately, my best friend spent some time in a medical hospital with her. Then I spent some time in a medical hospital with her. Then I spent some time in a mental health facility with her. And several other times in other medical facilities with her. And since 2018, we have been trying to get this girl help.
I know that.
And also she makes comments about my child and his disabilities.
This is disgusting and vile.
Yeah.
I know that there has been times when she has been sectioned and they have removed one of her tubes, or both of them. I think they've removed both tubes sometimes.
They've removed both tubes several times.
Yeah, you don't go for kids. This is the thing. See, how it all started for me, obviously I modded for her for 18 months. And when I stopped modding for her, she turned into a demon and went after me in every way she could, went after all of my friends, and basically made it so that anyone who was still in her lives wouldn't talk to me anymore. So I lost certain friends. Now I was lucky in some regard that there was a group of us mods that all left at the same time. And so we all kind of supported each other throughout the whole, like, discovering that all of it was lies. Because that was obviously, as it is for most people, very shocking, very hard to deal with mentally. But we had each other. Now, she made it so that I was not allowed to speak to, and nor were they allowed
Emily,
to
can I
speak
just
to me.
address what Juliana said? So she's
Any
currently
of them.
talking and says anybody who is talking about her must have past trauma or something. Yes, we do, Kirsten, because of what you have done.
Yes,
A
we
lot
do.
of
Because of what you have
She's
said.
just said that
Yeah.
user ex-mods are all angry at her because you're all angry because she abandoned you. That's all you're doing. You're
Nah.
angry at her for
No.
abandoning you.
I have never been her mod.
I've also
Those are
Never
the two
been her
people that
mod.
have been our mod is myself and Emily.
Sorry.
I've never been a mod.
Yeah. No, she didn't abandon me. I abandoned her.
Exactly.
I left her. I stopped modding for her. And want to know why I stopped modding for her? Because oddly enough, a troll account started coming into the lives that said that was a really horrible picture of me, and it was called Emily's Lazy Eye. Isn't that convenient that she says in a live, while I'm live, a comment about my lazy eye, and during the time that I was her mod, there was a troll that said that the username for which was Emily's lazy eye.
I've just laughed at that.
So that just proves that it was her. Now, the reason I stopped modding was because of that. So I left, and there was a group of us mods that all left together because she decided to speak to us all like we were something she'd stepped in. So she didn't abandon us, we abandoned her, which I can literally show you the screenshots of the chat when she says, "You've all abandoned me."
I agree.
Well, the reason I started back up on
that's lies.
TikTok was because she told me that she thought that I should have just left my son to pass because I'm cruel in making him suffer. And she sent 2 people to come after me and my children.
Yeah,
But never turned up. Never turned up though, did they?
No. La Lola, how did I realise she was lying? Right, so a group of us, there was a big group of us mods that modded for her at the same time. We had a mods chat. One of the trolls that was in her account, which obviously we now believe were all her, or you know, we're probably all her because we know she's got 2 devices. So we now believe they were probably all her. So we decided to set up a sting operation to catch one of the trolls. So we did a live on one of the other mods' TikToks, and this troll came in, started giving it the big balls, and at the same time as we were doing that, Kirsten was reaming us out on her live. And I went, at this point, I technically wasn't modding for her, but I was still there all the time for it, including overnight. So literally not sleeping until 3 o'clock in the morning or not sleeping until 6 in the morning. But I have a son and I have chronic illnesses. But we all sat and someone mentioned how she became paralysed. And I was like, oh yeah, she told me that she had tumours down her spine. And then someone else said, hang on, she told me she had a really bad seizure and that's what caused it. She told one of the other girls she'd had an accident, like a car accident, and then she told one of the other girls she had multiple seizures and banged her head. And that's when all the pieces started falling apart, because we're like, well, if she's lied about that, what else has she lied about? And then we also, obviously, in that discussion, discovered that she'd given us all different times that she'd become, in how she'd become disabled. So all of it was like, oh, so all of that's lies then. So what else has she lied about? And then we started cross-referencing truths she'd given us with like real people who had those conditions, and it all came out to us. And it was very difficult because I loved her to pieces. I was there for her constantly. And she destroyed me. She broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart. Hands
I
up,
know how
broke
you
my heart.
feel, Emily, because I mean, I literally let her live with me, like, and I loved her as well. Like I cared a great deal about her.
Can I hear anyone who's not talking, please mute the mics because it's coming through.
Thank you.
Like, even after I said she couldn't come back to my house anymore, I still continued to try and be her friend. Like, it took me a while to realize that she was lying about everything, but also, she would just get nasty with me, like proper nasty, and in the end, I just cut her off. But when I was the poorest I've ever been 2 years ago, and I spent 6 months in hospital, she was messaging me, telling me that I was thinking that I was drug seeking, that I was wasting the doctor's time, like that I didn't need to be there and there was nothing wrong with me. And at this point I was already calling her out for being fake, for saying things that weren't true, and pretending to be sick.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I believe Emily herself, before she realised what was going on, actually messaged me to ask why I was doing that. Like, why I wouldn't be cursed.
Emily,
Yep.
someone said, sorry, I'm just trying to find the comment again, I've lost it. 2 seconds. Apparently she's sitting on live now, saying that we're alright. She's sat on her live saying all ex-mods have turned on her, have abandonment issues again.
It's a lot of people.
She's also
A lot of
said
people,
we were
isn't
We
it?
just want
toxic.
help for you, Kirsten. That's all we want. Help for you.
A lot of people.
That is it.
For last week,
Yeah.
a lot of people have got issues.
Yes, Alex, she does give advice out. That's one of the things that both myself and Sally stand by, and we try our best to basically disprove every bit of advice she gives, because she'll give it and then pretend she never gave it, which is why people like the 2 Alex accounts and Secret Haven and people like that are absolutely wonderful. Shelley, if anyone can be recording her live so I can watch it, because I'd love to see what she's got to say about me now, because it's hilarious. I've invited her into the live and even said I will drop everyone down as a guest and she can come up on her own, but she won't because she hasn't got the balls to. So she can slag me off all she wants.
It's because she can no longer manipulate you, Emily. That's why. That's why she does this. This is what I've been saying. She looks for the thing that she thinks is going to hurt somebody the most and goes after them. That's why she come unstuck with me, because, honest to God, I couldn't give a shit what she says about me. It still don't mean I don't want help for her. Because as a mother, if that was my child
Secret
suffering,
Haven, you are a
I would
star.
want her to get help. If that was my child on live every day, passing out the way she is because of overuse of medication, I would want to get her help.
It's dangerous, and one day she could end up like seriously hurting herself or unaliving herself because she's taking too much medication. Like, I don't understand why her family don't do anything about it.
No, we don't understand that either, and that's something. Like I said, I sent a very measured and very polite message to her father as a parent, begging him to help her, and he's not interested. He's happy that he's got a sick child that he can baby, that he can look after, that he can give all the love in the exact same way he gave her sister. Yeah, I do just want to say this I just want everyone to do this and do it quietly, obviously, so it doesn't all echo. Can we all do this to all the screen recorders, please? You're doing the God's work. Thank you very much, everyone. You are all amazing. Because this is what we need. We need people to be. Yeah, I'd be putting a stop to it if she was my child as well.
I got do. Spend the six one never shake the tree.
Spend up or shake the tree. That's an absolutely excellent glass. I love that.
Sally, I want that.
Thank you, Heather.
Please. Where did you get it from?
We'll send you one. We'll send you one in the
post.
Tesco, where I get my best clothes. Also, you know that person I was talking about that said I was like hunting them up in the Discord? Sorry. Yeah, that's what he said. Can I just say that person has actually, I forgot this, their name's been blocked from my Discord since they went live. And other things.
Her sister passed away.
What did I say, Alex? Did I tick something then?
Like, I remember this was quite a long time ago, but her on one of her lives claiming brain tumour. Like, even though there's literally no way in hell, because that is literally what her older sister died from. Like, and how sick do you have to be in the head to claim to have a brain tumour when you have a sibling or a relative or someone you love or are meant to love who died of that exact thing?
Yeah, because she doesn't care. Sally, sorry to...
Can I just quickly ask, I'm not being rude, but I just... You can tell me to piss off if you want to, okay? I don't mean it offensive, but are you saying lag or like?
Like, but...
Okay, just checking.
I don't even know if I'm saying it. You haven't offended me at all, don't worry.
Sorry, I just wanted to check because I didn't know what I was actually hearing, because obviously southerner down here.
But I also talk quite quickly, so...
Sally, I know this is going to divert the conversation, and I promise we will come straight back to it, but I have to read this comment out because it just made me chuckle. Just never turn your pineapple upside down. If you know, you know.
Don't turn the pineapple upside down. Because hang on, is it?
I know.
I know too.
Can I just ask?
I'm going there on a full scholarship. I'm proud.
Hello. Can I?
Sorry.
Can I just ask? Because I've been like trolled relentlessly over the weekend and everything, and some of the things that you're kind of saying is possibly from that person. I don't know. Originally, they used a different profile picture from someone from Instagram because I did a reverse search and found out who it was. Then they changed it to my picture, a picture from that they screenshot of me, made a fake account and said Lou the benefit cheat, and has put that up as a profile now, as an account. But they were putting things in,
wouldn't surprise me if it was her.
They were putting things in my comments saying things like, you're a burden to your son, I feel sorry for him, he should live with other relatives, you're going to ruin his life, when he flops it's all going to be your fault, everything like that. And then it was like, oh, because I don't go live, see, and like I sometimes go in people's boxes, but I I struggle a lot with like confidence in that way.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you took screenshots of all of this?
I blocked it. So I will have to unblock and then take the screenshots.
You need to take screenshots because that's malicious communications.
Yeah.
And report it to the police.
Okay.
It doesn't matter that you don't know who it is. They will trace it by their IP address.
Okay, thank you. Because I don't go live. I occasionally jump in people's boxes, and this person started saying, "Oh, will you?" Because like on my videos, obviously I'm more comfortable, and it's not in front of people and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, well, you're not stuttering now," and stuff like that. And obviously, when I was in Emily's box, I think it was on. Was it on the Wednesday? I think because I told you that I'd like managed to get on the bus, didn't I? And I was quite ticky that day anyway because of like been out in the day and then things had happened and I was quite ticky and stuff anyway. So it kind of started off like that, and then it just got worse from that point. But yeah, they've actually put up like a fake profile of me now.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I think I know exactly who you are. Unblock her, take screenshots. I know exactly who you are now, and I saw that myself as a fellow ticker.
Yeah,
I can understand the stress it's caused.
I won't do it for you because that's not my job. I'm Officer Duffy, but happy to help you. Like write the email for you, whatever you want. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, happy to help you, lovely. All right, but that's malicious communications and it can be tracked. They'll just need you to do some forms in, and it goes to Psycoms for them to get the IP address.
Okay.
Can I just, sorry, Heather, can I quickly say something, Emily?
Hang on. I'll be on till like 1 o'clock probably.
There's people
yes,
in the comments are sitting saying about Kay's mods and that, and trying to say that one of them's on a live and that when they haven't, and there's a bit of misinformation going about your comments.
What do you mean, Han?
Right, okay.
A mod on one of our mods unalived herself. That's not true to the best of my knowledge.
Well, people are sitting talking about a certain mod, and I've said not to mention names, but they're still mentioning them, and just in case a bit of misinformation goes about. If you scroll up in the comments, it's can I say the name, Joe?
I've got it, I can see it.
Aye. I was just panicking there in case.
It's okay, I'll just mute for now.
Anyway, I'm going to drop down and let somebody else on. I was only wanting to ask about that Stormy saying that she's got information, which I said obviously police and social work when they go out. So I'm going to drop down and let somebody else come in the box. But I just wanted to make
don't
sure.
leave us.
I need to go to my bed soon. I'm up early in the morning.
Oh, fair enough.
And I need to watch the rest of Beetlejuice because I'll not get a chance tomorrow night.
What one are you watching? The first one, yeah?
I am going to see the second one with a friend on Friday.
Yeah, I'm taking my sister to see it on the 14th.
I'm going with a friend on Friday. So I'll drop down, but I just wanted to say about that in case a bit of misinformation was getting spread.
Okay, my lovely.
It's fine, I've muted it.
I think Emily's just paused for a minute, guys.
That's fine. I'll drop down and let somebody else on. But I'll speak to you all later.
Then, speak to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna drop down as well, but thank you very much, and I'll do that. I'll unblock get the screenshots and then take it to what I need to.
Right then, thank you for coming up though.
Thank you.
Like symptoms, so I have to be seen by a stroke specialist team within an hour.
Yeah.
In case it is, unfortunately, in case it is a stroke, and I'm usually in that hospital a good 4 hours. If I'm lucky, that's the fastest.
Yeah.
But I'm usually in there a good 48 hours because they want to make sure it ain't a stroke or it ain't a bleed.
Yeah. Well, that's understandable. They need to rule those things out because if they sent you home and it was one of those things.
Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, luckily, it's a migraine. But on the rare occasions that they've let me go the same evening, the quickest I've been discharged is 4 hours.
Yeah. And that's what happens with most of us. Like, the thing is...
And that's with a fast pass.
Yeah. See, the thing is, what she seems to forget is that everyone that goes on her live, in general, like I'd say 90% of the people that go on her lives have chronic illnesses themselves. We all know what hospitals are like. We all know the wait. Like, I have literally been in hospital and they thought that I had cordia equina, and that's you need to go in and you need to have surgery like ASAP before you lose the use of your legs permanently. And I literally sat there waiting for 3 hours. I waited for an hour, went in and got that, what's it called? When they check you in and they do your blood pressure and all that jazz.
Observations.
No, the one that they do before.
Triage.
That's
Assessment,
the badger.
triage.
Triage. So, Eleanor, you can join in a second, darling. So I got triaged and then I went back out to the waiting room for another hour. Then I was back in to have observation. Then I was back out again. Then I was back in again, saw the specialist, went down and had my scan, had to come back and wait in the waiting room again. Another hour went by, had to go back in to see the specialist, saw the specialist. Luckily, it wasn't cordia equina. Basically, my back had gone into spasm in a brand new place, and it technically was cordia equina because it was the cordia equina nerves that had become trapped when I had the muscle spasms, and that's why I couldn't lift my legs up when I sat or lay down.
See,
But
my
that
hospital
was
was
4 hours,
atrocious.
and that was with something that's serious. That could have meant that I lost the use of my legs, and that was as fast as I could go.
See, my hospital was atrocious, Emily. I went in there with something wrong with my heart. Like, I'd had a heart attack, but I didn't know I had a heart attack at the time. But I went in there with something bulging. One of my arteries was bulging or something at the side of my neck, and I waited there 12 hours before somebody saw me.
Yeah. And this is the thing, you know, there's obviously, like, if you went in and you were covered in blood, they would see you immediately.
It could have burst. The blood vessel could have burst.
Yeah, it was bad. It was very bad. Like, they tried to overdose me in there as well. But I'm talking about a hospital that somebody was unalived and left in the toilets for 3 weeks. Regularly this happens. And they only got found because people complained about the smell.
I can't even visit when I have like my migraines that mimic the stroke-like symptoms. I can't even go to my local hospital because they're not equipped for it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's horrible, isn't it, hon?
Yeah, it is. It's even scarier because you never know when they're going to hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could just be sitting there having a cup of coffee and the next minute the coffee's all over me.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I know that feeling.
See, I know that feeling, but only because I'm a clumsy fucker and my hand just randomly goes, bleh. I don't know why.
I only know that feeling because of my Tourette's and my seizures. Mostly it's my Tourette's. I chuck a cup of coffee across the room. It's really annoying.
Yeah. And sometimes I never know if it's because I've had an absent seizure or if it's because I'm having it's one of my migraines.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, let's get my camera up and look at my face. Is my face dripping? You know.
Sarah, have you tried that new migraine medication?
Which one?
The one that you can only take 3 times a year. It begins with a C. They've trialled me on it and it's been brilliant.
I can't because of my epilepsy.
Oh shit, yeah. No, I'm on it. I'm epileptic.
Because of my medication that I'm on for my epilepsy.
Oh, okay, that might be why, yeah.
And
That's an arsehole, mate. Sorry.
And because of my asthma and stuff, I can't.
Nicole, she's banned from there. That's why.
Unfortunately, they did want me to go on it, but I can't.
I'm not going to lie, it's literally saved my life because I get cluster migraines. I have no idea why. I always just have them.
Me, they're awful.
But since they've drove me to the point I want to smash my head open.
Yep.
Like, I understand why they call them suicidal migraines because, honest to God, I wouldn't wish migraine on anyone.
No, same here. I get mine lasts for 3 days, and it starts up with I get the niggling, and I can feel that like ice pick to the brain / eye. And then day 2, my eye won't open properly, and I feel sick, and I'm falling over, and I feel dizzy. And then day 3, I am in my bedroom, curled up in a ball, crying but not crying because moving my head even just to cry hurts, and I have the blanket over my head, and the room is pitch black, and no one is allowed to talk to me or go near me, and I've got a freezing cold flannel on my forehead and a freezing cold flannel on the back of my neck.
Yep, I know that feeling. When I get the cluster migraines, I cannot see, I cannot move, I cannot walk. Like, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. So Sarah, I feel so bad for you because you can't even take this magic medication, and that I am going to call it magic because I've gone a whole year with one migraine.
I've spoke to quite a few people that I've met through a support group.
Sarah, is there no way that you could change your epilepsy meds to be able to take the migraine meds?
It's taken 4.5 years to get me my epilepsy stable.
I understand that. I just thought maybe that it could have worked.
And
yeah, see, I'm not on medication for epilepsy. I think that's the only reason I'm allowed to take this medication.
It's taken me too long to get my seizures under control. I don't think they wish to rock the boat.
Yeah. Right, I just want to address something in the comments. Right, okay. Kirsten was banned.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Sarah. Sorry, Emily, sorry.
Sorry, Kirsten was banned from her local hospital. It wasn't because of SH. It wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of anything medical. It was because she was being abusive to staff, and because she is a drain on resources, they can red flag her, and if she gets enough red flags, they can refuse to see her. They have that right. There is another hospital that is close enough, so long as it is within an hour drive, and it is not a dire emergency, i.e. she is bleeding out, in which case they have to treat her and have to see her, because they know they're fakey shakies, they can refuse to see her. And on that note...
Also, the reason she is banned from her nearest hospital, is because she stole equipment from there.
Which she's admitted, and we have evidence of that because she sent a message to someone saying, I stole that from, and the name of the hospital has obviously been blanked out.
What is it?
Yeah, she stole the feed pump.
She stole the Abbott's Frigo pump and an IV machine disgusting. And also controlled medications.
Why would you steal a feeding pump, honestly?
Because she's not well, clearly.
Yeah, but...
What offence? She
just makes me angry.
This is why we're trying to get her the help that she needs, the correct help.
Yeah.
It just makes me angry.
Yeah, no, it is. It makes all of us very angry, and the thing is, like, there's so many of us.
But it makes me sad. Sad that at 25 years old, that's what she's got for her life.
Yeah.
At 25 years old, I was out living my best life. That's a lie, but I was living a life.
Yeah. And this is the thing, we're all trying our best to get her the help that she needs. And we're also all trying to, like, I'm trying to give space for everyone to share their experiences with Kirsten, and also to give people a space that they can talk about their health conditions and feel safe and secure here to know that, one, they won't get discussed outside of the live, and two, it is a safe space for people to share their stories. No one's going to judge them. No one is going to be horrible to them. And like what happened with my last live, we ended up discussing, because I obviously have my specialities, which is EDS, and I can talk about EDs, and I can talk about fibromyalgia, and I can talk about diverticulitis. I don't have any experience with feeding tubes, so for that we have Heather.
I personally go, I have a feeding tube. Yeah.
And that's the thing. We've got people like yourselves who can. So if someone was to ask a question about that, then Heather or yourself could answer it, or anyone else that's on here that uses tubes could answer it.
See, I can only answer the tube in regards to myself. They could, but I ain't going down that route because I don't want a permanent tube.
But then you wouldn't have
My
the problem
autism
of having to
cannot
take
cope
it
with
out.
it. My autism cannot cope with a foreign object being attached to my body.
Understandable.
Thank you, Debbie. That's really kind of you to say. Thank you, darling. As for someone else has commented, I'm not going to pull up who it is, and please don't anyone pull up their name. Someone commented and said they feel scared about sharing their story. You don't have to feel scared in here. You won't get any judgment. And to be fair, I can guarantee you, whatever health condition you've got, there'll be someone else in here who's got it. Because that's the thing with my lives. There just is. There's someone else that's got it. And we can, like last time, I linked so many people together to get information from each other and to get support. It was unreal. It was great. It worked absolutely perfectly. So we started off and we had our little rant about Kirsten and all that jazz. And then we talked about health conditions, and everyone was just helping each other and asking each other questions. And it was lovely.
You helped
So Deb wants to know about how she managed to steal medication. So I've seen her steal medication on 2 occasions, and I know there's a group of girls that were in hospital with her at the same time as me. We also witnessed her stealing medications from a bedside cabinet. So in this hospital, they have these bedside locker things with a medicine cabinet. The nurse didn't lock it, and she stole the medication. But they're not allowed to search her. They couldn't search her because she wasn't.
Well, technically, they could if there's a medication gone missing.
They
can't unless they call the police. If they call the police, then the police can search you. But
They searched my bags before.
Well,
they're not meant to be searching your bags. That's a violation of your liberties.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you are unconscious and needing immediate medical help, they are not allowed to search your bag unless they believe you are carrying a weapon, and even then they have to call the police.
Harriet, I'm sorry you experienced that, darling. You won't get that in here, I can promise you that. You just won't.
No, not at all.
Does anyone does anyone have a diagnosis of MND who Amanda could connect with? I don't know what MND is.
It's motor neuron disease.
Ah, there we go.
The same thing that Dottie Weir had and died.
So if anyone has motor neuron disease, if you could comment and reply to Amanda Bullen, that would be really useful. In a second, Amy, yes.
Kirsty, are you from Scotland?
Christy, yeah.
No, she's from Wales. I'm not really.
Christy's from Scotland.
Yeah, I'm in Scotland. I'm in Edinburgh.
Oh, that's where I'm from originally.
Yeah, I'm from Edinburgh.
Ladies.
Well, yeah.
In a second, Amy, I'll bring you up the box in a minute.
You can't throw your granny off the bus.
No, she can't push your granny off the bus, actually.
Oh, there you go. Fashion with Shaz is in Fife.
Is it throw or shove, ladies?
It's push.
Oh, see, down in Persia, we say shove. Yeah, we say shove in Persia.
Someone else has said shove. It's shove. Right.
I think it's different for different parts of Scotland.
Yeah. Right, Pixie. I will add you in a second, Christy. Just give me a minute. Right. Was there anything else that you wanted to say, Sarah? No. Yeah, Sarah. It was Sarah I was talking. That was just talking, wasn't it? Or was it Pixie?
No, it was no one.
It was no one. No one. Is there anything else that you want to say, darling?
No, I don't think no.
Are you okay if I drop you down so I can pull another guest up?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
You obviously stay in the live for as long as you want, and comment and say whatever you want. Okay. Thank you for coming and joining us, and you're welcome to follow anyone that's in here.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, drop. There we go. Right, Sarah, is there anything else that you wanted to add, darling?
No, so you can drop me if you want.
Is that okay? Right, Christy, could you drop, please?
No, don't wanna.
I know, but I've got people wanting to come and jump in the boxes, so I
Do you want me to drop down, Emily?
You can if you want, but you have to stay
Yeah,
on
let
it.
me
You're
drop
not allowed
down.
to go away.
I won't.
That's right then. I have EDS, so you can talk to me about that. Right, okay. So, right, I'm just going to disconnect Sarah for the minute. She can come back up in a second because there's loads of guests that want to come up. Right, who was next? Side quest superhero.
I just wanted to say that people are doing this thing where they're villainizing her mods right now. And I'm speaking about only one. So I've been speaking to one, and this person has really turned around on Kirsten, but feels like because of all the hate that she's getting, she's not able to leave because this is a compassionate person, and Kirsten chooses these people intentionally. She finds people who are compassionate or vulnerable, and that those are her targets, and she's targeted this person, and this person feels like because Kirsten has been backed into a corner that she is worried that Kirsten's going to do something. And, we might know that Kirsten is probably not going to do any of those things, right, Emily?
Yeah.
But this person doesn't believe that. This person thinks that Kirsten is a danger to herself.
Yes.
Well, she may be, but this person is unwilling to leave as a moderator because of the guilt that she would feel if anything were to happen to Kirsten. And so these people who are villainizing the mods, thank you for the gifts. These people who are villainizing the mods, don't do that. Some of them surely are nasty to others, but some of them really do sit in the background quietly and just try to. I've even seen some of them recently start to say, Kirsten, it's time to get off live. Like, if you think you're having a hypo, get off of live. If they're encouraging her to get hobbies, to do other things. They're not bad people. That they're also being called enablers, which I don't think is fair either to all of them. Some of them, certainly it is, but you can't say all of her mods are this way. Also, somebody in the comments, and I'm not calling this person out at all, but someone in the comments was like, a side quest, aren't you friends with one of her mods? And it's like, I didn't know that it mattered.
It doesn't matter. And if anyone's right, I will say this now, and I'm only going to say it once more. And Christy knows that what my rules are with this. The one rule for being in my live is that you're respectful, and you're respectful of guests, and you're respectful for everyone else in the comment section. Now,
Yes.
we have always welcomed mods, ex-mods, and anyone who's a viewer of Kirsten. I don't give two hoots whether we've got someone who is currently modding, who has modded for 6 years and is never going to stop modding. I don't care. They're allowed to come in here, and so long as they are respectful, they can stay in here.
There's only one time that we have blocked anybody, and that was because she went after Heather's kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a mod, but she made threats towards Heather's child and Heather, and so she was booted. Now, no one else gets booted. Now, I personally do not care if you're best friends with Kirsten. You have a right to be here as everyone else does. I don't know you, but I'd imagine that you have health issues. Anyone with health issues, or who is affected by health issues, like you have a sibling, a partner, a child, etc., with health issues, everyone's welcome here.
I think people tend to forget that the majority of people who began this whole situation were people who were, they're people like you, Emily. They're people who were mods who added 1+1 and didn't get the number 3
Yeah,
and decided
same.
that things were not adding up. And that's how this all started. And this person is eventually going to be an ex-mod, and all of a sudden it's going to be, oh, it's okay to be friends with this person all of a sudden because she made a decision to leave. And I don't think it's okay to say it's not okay that she's not ready to make that choice yet. I don't think it is.
If she's not ready to make that choice yet, then the only thing I will say is for you to support her while she's in this unsure position, because being in that position, I was there myself. It is really, really hard because she depends on her mods.
Terrible position to be in.
Yeah,
Yes.
she depends on her mods so much, and she puts so much pressure on them. Like,
Yes.
I cannot. It's very difficult unless you've actually experienced it yourself. It is very, very difficult to explain to someone just how much control she has and just how much you will do for her as a mod. Like, we literally had a rota drawn up of who was doing the night shifts, who was doing the morning shifts, who was doing the afternoon shifts. We had every single moment of every 24-hour day covered, so that she would not be on her own, regardless of what time she was live. Now, we had mods, I did it myself numerous times, who stayed up all night with her. And yeah, we were carers. We were unpaid carers. And that's what happens. And then she'll say to you, like she is at the moment, she's slagging me off down to the ground at the moment, not the mod, Kirsten. She's slagging me off down to the ground. So then she'll tell the mods, you need to go after that person because they're doing this and they're doing that. And because you believe every single word that she says, even if there's a part of your brain that goes, yeah, that doesn't quite ring true, because you care for her so much, you'll do what she asks. And if you don't do what she asks, she'll threaten SH.
Right.
Confirmed she does do that.
And I can prove that. I've got messages that can prove that. She will threaten SH and say, I've got messages where she sent in which she was talking about another mod and said, I hope you realise I nearly attempted last night because of you.
Well, and this is the manipulation she does to her dad, and this is the control that she has over people. This is part of the problem, and I don't know what is the best way to help this person, and it's certainly not calling them enablers. It's certainly not villainizing them. And I just wanted to make sure that the 207 people who are in here know about that.
Yeah, well, I've always said
Billy and Stormy are really doing damage to those people.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% they are. The thing is, the mods are normal people and they are vulnerable. The majority of them are vulnerable. And yes, they may have been nasty to people. However, you need to understand what an abusive relationship is to understand what relationship she has with her mods, because that's exactly what it is. And her mods are victims in this too, and they need support.
Yeah. And they do need support, and especially when they leave, they're going to need support. And if you're the one calling them an enabler, you're not going to be there for them. You're not going to be the one. So that's all I wanted to say.
No,
and
that's
if anyone
fine.
has suggestions, I'm welcome.
All I can say to you is just be there for her, support her, and if she asks you, like, well, what do you think? What's your opinion about this? Give her an honest answer and just explain to her that, look, she fully believes Kirsten. You don't, but you're going to support her because she is your friend. And whenever she's ready to leave, you'll be there for her. And like I've had someone who's a viewer message me, and I said, like, look, when you're ready to join the dark side, and I did a laughing emoji. I was like, you're welcome in as it is.
That's what I said. Then there's so much support over here too.
Yeah,
that's what I said. And
that's the whole point. And if you actually ask your friend, how often does Kirsten ask about you and ask how your day's going, and how much does she ask? Because what happened with us, and Christy will back me up here, is she'll say to you, oh, how are you doing today? And you'll say, oh, I'm in loads of pain. And she will go, oh, I'm sorry. And then she will instantly start talking about herself.
Yep.
Yeah, she doesn't care about anybody other than herself.
We've all seen it in the lives.
Yeah. But if you ask your friend directly, she will tell you yes. And that's the thing, that she is so self-centered, but she will love bomb you.
And not all of her mods believe her either. I mean, that's also a misconception. Some of them know that she has factitious disorder. They're well aware that she's full of lies. They're well aware of it. But again, are they just supposed to abandon her? I mean, I get it. I understand they're in a very difficult position, and they've been put there, unfortunately, by Kirsten.
And the other problem is that when you leave as a mod, there's two different ways it goes. So when I first left as a mod, she started off, she was angry with me because I deserted her and all this crap. And then when I finally got through to her that I had to stop modding for my own mental health, she was very supportive, very caring. She was checking in with me regularly and all that jazz. And then when I left properly, that's when she went on the offensive, and she will slag the mod off to everyone. She will tell everyone that the mod is lying about their health problems. She'll tell everyone, and this is quoted verbatim from her live about myself, she's got nothing wrong with her apart from fibro. The rest is just mental health issues. I know that because she sends me the proof.
Speak on something of what someone's just said in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So I have BPD. I also have a history of SH. We are not narcissists as people with BPD. It is a long line of childhood trauma that causes the imbalance in the brain. That is what that is.
Let's try our best not to vilify certain mental health conditions, because the thing is, you don't have to have a mental health condition to be a narcissist, and she is a narcissist. And
as someone with Jevons syndrome, I can put the name in the comments. Epilepsy, it is in the eye muscle and the nerves and the brain, but it also goes on the brain stem and the spine. The first time I ever saw anything of Kirsten's, I was just scrolling as I was in hospital after having a seizure, and I was scrolling and she was like, oh, I have this, I have that. I'm like, something don't look right to me. I'm trained in first aid and knowing when something don't look right. I was like, something ain't right here. And when you're love bombing your mods, as I also have, because someone also put about ASD, I also have ASD, so, which is great. I'm high functioning, so.
I've got ASD too.
Yeah, it's like the love bombing is part of narcissism.
Yeah.
And what she is doing is she will repeatedly do that to give them a false sense of security.
Yep.
And she does it, and the threats of SH, I don't appreciate as someone who is recovering from it, from years of doing that, from still having, you know,
I've been a similar.
barely visible scars. So I can fully say, like, she needs to be put in a psychiatric facility, and if she's in the UK, the best place for her will most likely be Broadmoor.
Yeah.
Because
I agree. Because it can't be a normal psychiatric facility that she gets put into. She needs to be put in on her own, completely separate from everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah, she
doesn't need to be on this app.
No, she doesn't.
And from what I've gathered over the last couple of days, most of her viewers are children.
Most of her viewers she's paid for. Most of her followers, rather, she's paid for. But yeah, side quest superhero, to come back to yourself. As I say, the best thing you can do, and it's awful, I know it's awful, because you're watching your friend being hurt over and over again and you want to pull them away from it, but much the same as any relationships, you need to let her realise she needs to leave when she is ready. And I know it's hard. I know it's really, really hard to watch it. I've been in that position myself. I've been in both sides. I've been in that relationship and I've been on the outside of that relationship, looking at the person and going, please just leave, please just leave, please just leave. I don't want a phone call that something's happened. You know what I mean? I understand completely where you're coming from. It's horrible. But all you can do is just support her and tell her you'll be there for her, tell her we'll all be there for her. And that when, you know, if she wants to message me, she can message me. I am an open book. I will let anyone message me, and anything anyone tells me stays with me. I share it with no one. And this is the thing with Kirsten. Like, I've got information about Kirsten that she sent me, and obviously we don't speak anymore. She's decided to say loads of horrible stuff behind my back about me, but I still wouldn't share those things because it's not my story to tell, and I'm not that sort of person.
Right. I just hope that the people who are in this live, if you go watch Billy's live, if you go to Stormy's live, if you see those people saying things about her mods, you know, I would encourage you to challenge them, because they're not okay to say those things.
Oh no, I do, because I went on Billy's because it pissed me off as an ex-mod myself. I went on Billy's when he was calling all the mods stupid, and I commented straight away, and I was like, hang on, no, let's not villainize the mods who are literally seeing someone and trying to help them because they can see that someone needs help, which we all believed when we first saw Kirsten. Every single one of us, when we first came across her, we believed every word she said, because why would you lie? Welcome back, Shy Zombie. Because why would you lie? So you don't want to believe that could be untrue. You want to support her. She's on her own, and you sat there thinking, well, you've got all these health problems. You need to live with your mum and dad. That's really sad. And then you find out that her mum barely visits, but her dad will come round if something happens. And so you end up falling into this kind of carer role, but she will call you her big sister, or she'll call you her little sister. And so you're like part of her family. And because she does that, you just fall into this pattern, and it's so quick. She does it so well. She's so damn intelligent. And
I just think,
you know, no one should be going after the mods, and to say mods are stupid is disgusting, because they're not. I'm not stupid at all. I'm actually quite highly educated, but I believed her and I wanted to support her. And as a mum, my heart broke for her, being a young girl on her own with all these health problems, and she'd have a seizure, she'd have an ambulance called out, she'd go to hospital, come home, and then her dad would just leave her.
Right.
And I'm sat there thinking, why are you leaving her? She's just had a really bad event and she's come home from hospital, and then you've just left her all on her own.
Right. I just think it sounds reasonable to say, yes, these mods are really enabling Kirsten. Like when you say that, it sounds like, yeah, that's factual. When you really think about it and look into their behavior and speak to some of them, you realize that they are minimizing their roles in her behaviors. They see the truth. Some of them do. And I just want to put that out there, that they're in a really tricky ethical position right now.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we keep advocating for them. So I'm going to drop down now, but thanks so much for the gifts, and thanks for listening.
You're welcome. And like I said, if you want to tell them to reach out to me, feel free. Like, nothing will go any further than my own inbox, and they'll never get judged by me at all.
Right.
Because I've been there.
Explain something.
Mm-hmm.
Broadmoor isn't just for offenders. It is now, but they've done a recent documentary which is up on YouTube. I think it's BBC4 or ITV4 that did it, and they're changing that. Also, they have armed guards on turrets 24/7, all around the clock, watching who comes in and out. They also have ways where they can watch you 24/7. They also have different ways where they can put you in locked cells. I was in a low to mid security mental health hospital, and they did nothing. But if you look up on YouTube the Broadmoor documentary that is recent, like, yeah.
Isn't Broadmoor just for males, though? I might be wrong.
It is at the moment, but they're changing.
Oh, okay.
Because I know people who actually work there.
Yeah, I know someone who works there. And believe me, she would not get away with the things she does right now.
Exactly.
Stop it.
And people saying like, oh, they're not going to pay for her. Like, the NHS already pays for mental health hospitals. The government already pays for the mental health hospitals. I have 7 near my house. I have one for just offenders near where I live. So if you think Broadmoor's bad,
Right, okay, let's move on from this topic because I think it's causing a bit of upset in the.
Can I just say something?
So I'm going to drop you down, Nightmare. Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, go on, Heather.
I just want to say, I've also been watching the comments and reading the comments. People calling her Kirsten a narcissist and that, and saying it's because she's got borderline personality disorder. That's really bad for those people who suffer with that condition.
I have BPD.
I have it.
It's insulting to call her.
I didn't see the message. I think it was narcissistic.
No, there's been quite a few.
Zola!
There's been quite a few of them.
Sorry, I'm looking for the cat.
Yeah, no, there's been quite a few of them. But I also, you know,
He's not allowed in the.
we're not just
in that
here
community.
to talk about Kirsten. We're here to talk about chronic illnesses, mental health problems, you know. And I just want to make it. There's already such a bad stigma on people with EUPD, or borderline personality was the old term for it. But for people to compare those of us who do suffer with it to what she is doing, it's very damaging. And it's quite insulting, to be honest with you. So please don't try and diagnose her or say it's because of this mental health or this because of that mental health, because there's plenty of people I know with EUPD, myself included, that would not do what she's doing. And she doesn't have a diagnosis of that. She has a diagnosis of something else because it was removed.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's not use any mental health labels on her, please, if we could. Right. Summer GWP.
Hiya.
How you doing?
You were talking about shoes earlier. I might be getting AFOs. I've been trying to look for any shoes that might be good for them, but I don't really know.
Message me if you want, hun. I know loads of places.
Okay, I'll message you.
There we go. Was there anything else? Was there anything else you wanted to say, Summer?
I know when you were saying about Corda Equina earlier, because on top of a spinal cord injury, I've been diagnosed with that. There's needs to be more red flags put around about it. I'm gonna try and do a post, because when you were in A&E, you were quite lucky with how they actually went through the process. I'm in a Facebook group for support, and people have gone to hospital, been fobbed away for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
No, I did have, they were funny with me because I had, sorry, I'm trying to approve a comment and my phone won't select it for some reason, sorry. It was when I lay down or when I sat down, I couldn't lift my legs up. And then when they did the reflex testing, I had no reflexes whatsoever in my left leg, like literally nothing. It was like nothing was touching me, which obviously I'm looking at my leg thinking, why aren't you moving? What the fuck is going on here? And then
Emily, we need to talk.
Okay. When they did my right leg, they did the inside of my leg and I had a slight reaction, and then they did the outside of my leg and there was no reaction again. And the doctor was very confused. I obviously went in, had the scan, and then when I finally saw the specialist again, his response was, well, it's not Corda Equina. Well, it technically is because it's your muscles contracting on it, But, you know, with your back how it is, it's one of those things, you might just have to accept this is a chronic thing now. And that was it. And I'm apparently being referred to neurology, but I've not heard a single thing. And I was referred first to neurology about 5 years ago, and I've still not seen them. And because I live in Wales, and so some things they do instantly, and other things it's just like, no, you can just wait. You can just wait for as long as we want you to. And I'm sat there thinking,
and then people end up waiting, and their symptoms getting worse.
Yeah. And it's like what they need to do is actually follow the protocol that's on the NHS website, which is you take them in, you get them dealt with, and you operate on it.
Yep, literally.
Because that's the NHS website guidelines is immediate operation, not wait, immediate operation.
Yeah, it's not we'll wait and see. It's get me in the fucking...
Can I ask, what's it called, guys?
Cauda-equina syndrome.
Okay, because I broke my back a few years ago, and ever since it's been pressing on my spinal cord.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got no reflexes in my legs at all. I don't feel my feet to the point people stamp on my feet just to check.
So another part of it can be saddle numbness.
Yep, I get that all the time.
And
no idea what that means.
Incontinence. So kind of
where you would sit on the saddle of a horse goes.
And it can go down the back of your legs as well.
That's exactly what's been happening.
Yeah, and then obviously
and my fingertips.
Yeah, and no feeling in like your private area and stuff. So those are kind of red flags for it.
Oh, maybe I should go see my doctor.
Yeah, you need to, darling. Yeah,
yeah.
Because that
this is why we have
happens.
this group, because people help each other out, and we can get like help with the, weird shit that goes on with our body that we just go, oh, it's just because of my EDS. When actually, no, it's not. It's something completely separate and needs to actually be dealt with.
Yeah,
because I've got 2 discs that are completely shattered.
Yep, you need to go.
And then I broke my back just above the thing that would have made me paralysed. I can't remember. They said call it teal or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Find the paperwork. But literally, it's been getting worse and worse over the last 2 years.
Yeah, you should probably go and see someone and get it checked out. So how they normally do it is it's either a CT or an MRI.
Yeah, so I've had neither of them. I had a CT when I broke my back to see how bad the break was, but they've never followed it through.
Because what happens is kind of like, obviously you've got like shattered discs, but that starts pressing, I think it's actually called the like cauda-equina. It's like at the bottom of your spine. So you've got your spinal cord and that's kind of protected. And at the end, you've just got like loads of nerves firing out. So they're not quite protected by anything and it can compress on those nerves.
Okay, I think that might be what's going on.
Yeah, definitely get it checked.
But then because I have MS, I just assumed it was that.
Yeah, this is the thing. When you've got other conditions that cause problems with those areas, a lot of us just go, oh, well, it's obviously that. But this is why I love my group, because my group can help people.
Yeah, it's like you have some kind of health issue or increased pain and you're like, it'll go away this week. And then it's like 3 months later and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it was only because the only reason why I've mentioned it now is because literally whilst I was away, Emily, I lost the feeling of my arms and my hands for days.
Yeah, I get that with my POTS attacks now. That happens every time I have a POTS attack now. My arm goes completely dead.
It's weird. I've never had it before.
It's like it's got turned to stone, and I'm just sat there going, "Can you move, please? Can you move?" And no, nothing. And then it goes.
It's not like that. So like if you, I don't know how to describe it. So like if you lay on your hand too long and it goes dead.
Yep.
It's like that, but I generally can't feel my fingers or my hands. Like to the point people are punching my hand and I can't feel it.
Yep. You need to get that checked, baby. That's not normal, and that's not your MS.
Oops.
Yeah, no, that's
you need to go and get checked out, okay? Listen to Mama M's and go and get checked out.
We both know I'm not going to.
Yeah, you are, because I'm going to tell Wade, and Wade will make you go.
I will be annoying and message you reminders.
All right, I'll go see my doctor. Okay, I'll go see my
Or,
doctor.
Emily, if I don't attend that appointment on the 9th, you're going to murder me too.
I told you, Doctor, I'm going to come all the way to Scotland and kick your fucking ass. There you go. Everyone in the comments is saying they're all going to vote for you, Heather.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go. I just hate the doctors. I hate the hospital because they're idiots.
Gaslighting and
Yes, Chronic Nomad. What's up, darling? Right, okay, I'll wait for them to respond. Summer, was there anything else that you wanted to say? Because I've got some more guests that want to jump up.
another thing. So I have issues with like my fingers locking.
Yeah.
And sometimes like kind of pops out a little bit. I don't know what causes it. It's really random, but really painful, and it can stay like that for hours.
Do you have EDS?
No, my mum does.
Might want to go
which
get
means
checked.
You probably do, darling.
Yeah.
Right. Summer, put your hand out in front of you.
Yeah.
And hold it straight like it naturally wants to be.
Yeah.
Does your hand look like mine?
Yeah.
You have EDS.
I knew she was going to do that.
I don't know. My hand's always
Or
done
do the
that.
pinky test and see if you can get past 90 degrees.
If your elbows do this as well, so can you see my elbow? How my elbow bends?
What about the skin, guys?
Oh yeah, and,
Just pull the
the one that
palm
no
of
one
your
likes.
skin.
Look at this.
My skin's okay.
Yeah, but does your skin do this?
No.
Check the palm, the front
Yeah,
part of your hand. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, see, babes, I hate to tell you this, but you've got EDS because when your fingers cramp up, what's actually happening is the bones in your fingers are subluxing, and what you need to do is pop them to get them back into place.
Yeah, sometimes
And that
I've
shit hurts.
Yeah,
I've
the
resorted
first,
to the point of
my little
taking them-
finger is the worst. I've broken my little finger trying to relocate it before now. It freaking hurts like a boss.
See, sometimes what I do is I just tape my fingers together and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it don't work. I've tried that. It don't work. You have to click them back into place or pray that they click into place.
And yes, Rach is right. Not everyone has stretchy skin. This is the thing. I talked about this in the last live. EDS
Everybody's
is
symptoms are different.
I don't have,
It's not
I don't
like
have the
hugely
skin like
stretchy,
that.
but
I've
it's
got
a little
AIDS. I
bit.
haven't got AIDS. Sorry, I'm muting Emily.
Okay. EDS is one of those conditions that is very much they're now trying to quantify it, that it's very much the same as autism, that it's a spectrum disorder, and that for each of the types of EDS, like I've got classic and hypermobile, they believe that it's more of a sliding scale, that you fit into this little box here and you don't go into those boxes. It's more like you bleed into the boxes around you. So you might have 3 or 4 symptoms of hypermobile EDS, but you might have 10 symptoms of the other one. What did I say? Not hypermobile. The other one. Classical. There we go. Thank you. And you might have 10 symptoms of classical. So what you can do is, if you want, you can message me if you don't think you'll remember this. But if you think that you've got EDS, if you think you've got any of the symptoms that I've talked about, if you go on my TikTok, I've got tons of videos and I explain quite a lot about EDS on those.
Try look up the dating score and see if you can do all that.
Yeah,
Emily, my lovely.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure one of our good friends is all right.
All right, darling.
Michael Barrymore likes boys. And plus I'm ticking. Plus I'm ticking, as you just heard. But I'll try to come back on in about 10 minutes.
All right, then, babe.
Wanker. Sorry, you're not a wanker.
Love you. Yes, you can message me about it.
Love you,
Anyone who
honeys.
Love you. Anyone who wants to message me about EDS can. No, I'm not medically trained, but I have suffered with this condition for 39 years. So I know a lot about it because I've had to learn it myself, because basically every doctor around me had no idea about it until I turned 21 and dislocated my hip picking up a fucking ball.
My mum was only diagnosed this year and she's 39.
Yeah, it's one of those conditions now. I was first diagnosed with juvenile arthritis. Jesus wept. Then it was, first off, it was growing pains.
Oh, I had that. Me and Mum were joking about that.
Even though I wasn't fucking growing. That's the best of it. I wasn't growing. So how the fuck are they growing pains when I wasn't growing? Then it was juvenile arthritis. Then it was women's problems.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was that I was just flexible. And then finally it was, oh yeah, you're a bit hypermobile. Yeah, okay then. And then I finally saw, after I dislocated my hip, I literally walked into the doctor's office and he looked at me because I went to see an orthopedic surgeon, and he looked at me as I walked in the room and he went, yeah, you've got EDS. And I was like, I'd obviously looked it up already, and I was like, no, I don't want that one. It could be anything else, just not that one. And he went, no, you've got EDS, sorry. I've looked at all your records, I've looked at all your scans. You got EDS. I was like, oh. And he went, can I have a look at your skin? So I put my hand out and he stretched my skin and he went, right, let's take you through the Bainton scale. And I was like, okay. Took me through that, took me through the Brighton criteria. It's the only test that I've ever scored full fucking marks in.
Woo.
The one test you don't want to score full marks in, I did.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is go to your GP, explain all your symptoms, and go from there. Now, if you look on the EDS Federation UK, and you need to be specific when you search for it, go on the UK site, not on the US site. It gives you information there on how to test yourself. It gives you information on there about other websites that you can look at, and it also gives you information about how to talk to your doctor about it. Without them basically fecking ignoring you.
Well, to be honest, they'd probably just say it's due to like chronic pain and my spinal cord injury, which obviously this stuff was before. But I'm almost kind of at the point where I'm like, I just maybe let it slide. I can't be asked with another piece of paper.
Yes and no. How old are you? Summer.
21.
Yeah, you're 21. Now, see, the earlier you get diagnosed, the better.
Age where they'll go, women's problems.
Yeah, it is most likely, but it is worthwhile trying, so it's all noted down, and you can say to them, look, I've been having issues with my joints since I was a young child. Like, for example, and I'm already guessing what your answer to this is going to be. When you used to walk to school when you were little, did your ankles used to roll in your shoes?
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, okay. When you walk up and down the stairs, do you regularly feel like weird sensations in your knees?
It's been a while since I've done that one.
Have you got flat feet?
Yes.
Can you, hang on, let me think, because I've got to think about ones that would fit with you, because obviously you've got a spinal injury. Do you walk weird?
I don't walk.
You don't walk, okay. When you could walk, when you were walking, did you walk differently to your peers?
In some ways, yes.
Okay, do you have sensation in your legs?
Not particularly great, but a little bit.
Right, okay. When you before you had the spinal injury, when you sat on the sofa, did you sit with your feet perfectly on the floor, or did you sit with your legs in a weird position, like a pretzel?
Weird position, and I always got called freaky because there's like that froggy stretch that you do at gymnastics.
I love that stretch. It feels so freaking good.
I know, it's the one I can do perfectly.
Yeah. So
straight out.
All of those are symptoms of EDS. And yes, being hypermobile isn't automatically EDS. Yeah. However, if you have other issues that go alongside it, so if you're born like me, if you've got a family history, you're 99%. You've got your mum had a 50% chance of passing that condition on to you. Yeah. Apart from if your dad also carried the gene, in which case it's basically 100%. But say your dad didn't and it was just your mum, you have a 50% chance. So you've got a family history of it already, which goes in the favour of you having it. And I only found this out last year. Was it last year, Christy, that I found out about my spine?
Yes.
Yeah. I found out near the end of last year that I have scoliosis, and I've had that since I was born. So all the times I went to the doctor and said, my spine is absolutely killing me. Please help me. And they kept on saying, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's anxiety.
I'm just like, I can't, like, I'm already waiting. Well, I was meant to have the appointment on Tuesday. They cancelled it at 3:30 the day before. So now I'm waiting till the end of October. And it's like, this kind of, like, the results are kind of important about whether I'm going to need, whether the metal work shifted inside of me, whether I'm going to need more surgery. And it's like, I had a phone call with the pain team today, and I was hoping after yesterday's appointment, we'd probably have more to do with it. And it's just like, luckily, obviously, the pain team get the fact that my level of pain, most people would be screaming and on the floor.
Yep, I know that one only too well.
It's like, I know when my pain gets past the normal threshold, and I hit that threshold a while ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was hoping I could have this appointment, open book, know what's going on, know whether, you know, if any interventions need doing or this, that.
Yeah.
You know, I did physio when I was younger, but it did me a fat lot of good. I think it made the issues worse. Like, I've had, my hips have been an issue. They used to pop in and out a little bit when I walked.
Yeah, that's called subluxing or completely dislocating, because the problem is with us, we get used to the sensation of it dislocating and it relocating, so it stops bothering us, so we stop paying attention to it.
I don't know, my friends used to find it weird. They'd be like, go on, someone stand on one leg and show us the weird thing you can do.
I'm guessing you can twist your other leg all the way around. Well, you could twist your other leg all the way around and make it face the opposite direction.
I cannot remember, but I can do that with a thumbs up all the way back round.
Yep. This is the thing. Good night, no one. That's their name. I'm not just randomly saying good night to no one.
I know, I clocked that, and then I saw the username.
But yeah, most of us, our hips are a sore subject. Generally, and yes, this might sound sexist, but it happens to be a fact. The hips affect women more than men because we have relaxing in our hormones that happens every time we have our periods, and so your hips will become worse during your period. And depending on what level of activity you did before you got as sick as you did, where you couldn't do stuff anymore, will depend on which joints are the most affected.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things. It's worth getting the diagnosis because you can have it down on paper. And if you decide further along in life that you want to have children, whether they be naturally or via, surrogacy, or you decide to adopt, it is helpful to have that all on record, especially if you go for surrogacy or natural, because you can, one, be prepared for your child having EDS as well, and also, two, prepare yourself for what the pregnancy and the labour is going to be like.
Well, I already know because of the metal work it'd be a C-section.
Yeah. But you've also got to look around being able to lift the baby after the baby's born, and being able to carry them a bit and all that, and like carrying a child to full term. You know, I looked weird as heck because from behind I did not look pregnant. But when I turned around, it was this massive stomach, and everyone was like, what the hell? And it literally looked like I shoved a beach ball at my top. I was humongous. But every other part of my body hadn't grown. It was literally my stomach and my feet. Those were the only two places that grew. And it was just like, okay, and my boobs. I actually finally had boobs. Hated them. It was horrible. I didn't like it.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, because there was like a 1 centimetre difference between my feet, I think they tried to fob it off with growing pains, but obviously the hip thing wasn't normal. They went, oh, it's just because you're young,
See, this is the thing. If you were a man, they wouldn't do that.
I know.
It pisses me off so much. It pisses me off so much.
Even with health, it's going through the mental health system, because the thing is, I know if I presented the way I have in the past as a male, it would be very different.
Yeah. It's just a nightmare. But yeah, if you message me, I'll give you as much information as I can and try
that would be good.
to support you in whatever way I can.
Yeah.
And same goes to anyone who's in the comments who's in the same position that Summer's in. Message me. I will signpost you as best as I can. I will support you in whatever way I can, because that's kind of what we're all supposed to do. That's the whole point of having a chronic illness community, is that we come together and actually help each other out.
I think the thing is with me, because there's multiple different things going on, especially like injury and pain wise, they'll just try and say it's that.
Yeah.
I can already see that brick wall.
Would your mum be willing to go with you to your appointment so she can like speak on your behalf and advocate for you?
She could, but I don't know.
If you'd rather she didn't, I am more than happy to, and I've done this for Christy, I will be your Auntie M, and you can call me and give me permission over the phone to talk to your doctor, and I will talk to your doctor for you.
Yeah, all I've had to do was give permission, explicit consent for her to talk to M, and yeah, she spoke to M and we had a thorough conversation about where to go from here. But yeah, M's brilliant at it.
I used to work at the Citizens Advice Bureau, so I can put on a telephone voice and I can be very stern but very polite.
I don't know. I just chicken out on phone calls and go silent.
I used to be like that, but as soon as I started working for the cab, because I had to make all those phone calls, I just got used to it. And so now I'm like, I will advocate for fecking anyone. I don't care who you are. I will ring the doctor for you. I rang the hospital when Christy was in hospital, and
when I was passed out, unconscious.
Yeah, I was forceful in what I said to them, and they actually listened, because they weren't listening to Christy, so I made them listen to me.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was, I couldn't breathe, and they were trying to assess me for a clot in my lung, and I was like gasping on air on the phone to Emily. And wouldn't give me oxygen because my oxygen levels were normal. But Em got them to put oxygen on me, and I was much better after that.
Yeah.
It's like she kept on being sick, and then they kept on giving her tablets to take. I'm like, what the hell are you playing at?
There's no point.
She's supposed to have fluid medication through IV, so her medication is in her system. You're giving it to her as a tablet, and she's throwing it straight back up again.
If you throw it up, you can't have it again.
Yes, exactly.
Because they don't know how much
has been absorbed.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, this isn't going to happen. So I rang up the ward and I was like, this is what you're going to do, and this is why you're going to do it. And if I need to, I'm happy to go over your head. Because I don't care. And like, I'll do it for any of you. Any of you want to message me and want me to advocate for you, I'll advocate for you. I will be your Auntie M, and I will say whatever it is you need me to say, because I'm more than happy to advocate for people. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss, Summer? Because I want to let
No, I'm all good, thank you. I'll send you a message maybe tomorrow when my brain remembers.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
All right, darling, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Right, Eleanor, sorry, darling. Long time no speak. Eleanor, are you still there? Or have you fallen asleep? Eleanor. I'm everyone's auntie. Any of you can ask me to call for you. I'm more than happy to do that.
Honestly,
Hi, Eleanor. How are you doing, darling?
I'm good, thank you. Right, Heather and Summer, I can totally relate to them with a cauda equina. I've actually ended up being paralysed from the waist down with cauda equina, and I ended up being rushed to the Heath in Cardiff and having major surgery, which I was on the operating table for 6 hours. And now, since that's happened, I've ended up having I've had 3 surgeries on my lower part of my back, L4 and L5. And basically a couple of, not last month before, I went to the doctors, requested another MRI because I was still having major issues. I'm still having pains down both my legs. Since my last operation, I've got pins and needles in my right foot, and now I'm getting them in both my feet. And it's only because I've seen my usual doctor I see regarding my problems with my back. He's actually put a request in for me to have an MRI, which I've got on the 26th. But anybody wants to talk about quarter recliner, any symptoms, I've had it all. I know exactly how it feels, and with pain, I can relate in all that as well.
Thank you very much, Eleanor. That's really kind of you to
And I'm quite happy. If anybody wants to private message me, Heather, anybody, I am quite happy to relate, and I'm quite happy to give them what information I know. I know my local hospital down in Haverfordwest, they don't deal with spinal. The only two hospitals in Wales that actually deal with spinal is Morriston and Cardiff.
Yeah.
They're the only two hospitals that will deal with spinal. And anybody has loss of bowel or bladder or loses their weight, weaknesses in their legs, just go straight to your A&E. Don't hold off. Don't wait until the next day. Just make that move and go. Even if you can't just get transport, phone an ambulance and tell them you can't wait, bear. You've lost. You can't go to the toilet. Your bladder and your bowels, you've lost control. Just go straight to your A&E. Don't hold off, because it's a horrible thing to go through having quarter recliner. I woke up, I had chronic pain on the Monday, and my partner was working at this point, and he said to me, he said, right, when you wake up, please phone the doctors and get up there. And sadly, the neighbour we lived by then, she's sadly passed away through the C word, which I'm not going to bring up because I know there's a lot of people who've got family and who are going through that treatment. She took me up the hot doctors and she said to me, I can't pick you up. I've got to go and see to my horses and I've got my kids to pick up from school. I said, no, that's fine. And he gave me pain relief. He gave me tablets to help me sleep. My partner was supposed to be in work to go out on the lorry. He had to be in the yard for 5:30. He didn't end up going into work because I ended up being paralysed from my waist down.
It's disgusting.
And they're still trying to palm me off now and telling me there's nothing wrong with my back. There's nothing wrong with my legs. And I've said to my partner now, I said, I end up being paralysed or I end up with quarter recliner again, I'll be suing my local GP and suing the local hospital. Because my local hospital will not touch me anymore. They will not give me the ounce of day or time. If I go down there with any symptoms regarding my back and legs, or they just tell me, oh yeah, give you pain relief and send you home.
If you want, I can find the name of the spinal specialist I went and saw, who was absolutely amazing. I can't remember the name of the bloody hospital, but it's a nightmare trying to get there. We have to follow the sat nav, and Christian gets really stressed out and starts shouting, and there's like nowhere to park. But we found a secret car park that we didn't know existed. So I'll give you directions to that if you do manage to get an appointment. I will find the details for that and I'll send you a screenshot of it all so you can ask your GP to refer you to that specific spinal specialist if you'd like.
Yeah. I've given up the amount of appointments I've had with pain management regarding the issues regarding my legs and regarding my pins and needles in my feet. They've told me, oh, we'll make you an appointment with pain management. They're a waste of space. Don't even bother. If anybody with back problems or anything, please don't get a referral to pain management, because the pain management in Wales is a nightmare. I've had umpteen letters saying, oh, you'll have a phone call on such and such a date, such and such a time. Yeah, you never phone, you never get in contact with people, and then you try and get in contact with them, and it's like, oh, leave your name and number and get back in contact with you.
Yep.
And
See, I had my first appointment, my first 3 appointments were absolutely fantastic. They were wonderful. And then my last appointment that I went to, and I said to them, this will be the last appointment I ever come to, I was told that maybe we needed to start thinking about mindfulness and more natural remedies to deal with my pain, because I needed to accept that I was going to be in pain.
Thank you, everybody, for your gifts. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you, everybody.
And when you start going, right, so I have to accept I'm going to be in pain forever. Would you accept that you're going to be in pain forever? I don't think you would. I don't think as a doctor that they would deal with the pain that we deal with. So how's about you get to fuck?
That? I said to my psychiatrist, I said, it's all right for you to say you're not going to help me with sleep, but you get a full night's sleep. I don't.
Yep.
So don't sit there. It's the exact same with any specialty. It's fine for them because they don't have to sit there in agony or struggling with ADHD or whatever.
I can relate regarding not getting much sleep. I'm lucky to have 2 hours at night at the most, and some nights it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning by the time I get any sleep, and then by 9:30, 10 o'clock I'm up, I'm awake.
Yeah.
Oh no,
and it's
hard.
because of the pins and needles in my feet, and like I've got them tonight, and I can bet you any money it'll be 5, 6 o'clock by the time I go to sleep, and then I'll be up early in the morning. And it's
can I ask, can you walk at all? Sorry if it's offensive, but
I can walk. When I had the surgery for my quarter equina, they told me before I signed the form to go down for the operation, it'd give me a 50-50 chance if I ever walked again. But I did manage to walk again, and I've managed to get my bladder back working and all that. But it's the constant pain in my legs. I get constant spasms in the lower part of my back, down my legs.
have you taken your meds?
I've taken my normal ones. I haven't taken my strong ones yet.
The doctors have prescribed me medication for pins and needles in my feet, but they're not doing anything, and I've given up trying to get my GP to give me new painkillers.
Have you tried Ropenetrol?
Sorry, lovely?
Have you tried Ropenetrol?
No, I haven't.
Because I had like numbness, restless leg situation, and they put me on Ropenetrol, and it really helped.
I just want to answer a question someone's asked in the comments. Right. Yes, I know that a lot of people won't recommend salt for POTS. I do recommend salt for POTS. I'm a high believer in salt for POTS. I'm on a medication for my heart rate to try and slow it down.
Or liquid IV. It's quite good as well, like rehydration sachets.
Yeah, salt is absolutely fantastic, especially if you're out of the house and you feel the start of a POTS attack coming in. What I tend to do is I carry sachets, generally the ones from McDonald's, which is why I have to go to McDonald's, because I need to get more salt sachets. That's the real reason.
My friend does that, Emily.
And so you use half the pack to start off with, pour under the tongue, because if you put it under the tongue, it gets into the system very, very quickly. So underneath the tongue, and then have a swig of tepid water, not fizzy pop, not energy pop like freaking Kirsten drinks constantly. Tepid water. If you drink cold water, it can shock your system, and that makes your heartbeat even faster. So you need to have tepid water. So take small sips of it, and then if you still feel it happening, then have some more salt. And if you need to use the full sachet, you need to use the full sachet. And generally, that will work, and it will keep it at bay. It's worked for me anyway. I mean, like, obviously at the moment, my heart rate's doing whatever the heck it wants, even though I'm on the medication. So I'm just, deal with it, unfortunately. But salt does work, and I am a big advocate for salt. Can you not get prescribed sodium chloride? I haven't been prescribed it. They've said to me that I can just keep on using salt. So, it's one of those things. Salt works for some people. I do know that some people it doesn't, then they drink electrolyte drinks instead. So it's all dependent on what works best for you. Like Ellis has said, why do I feel like caffeine helps my POTS? Because for some people, weirdly, it does. it's never helped me. It's always made me way worse. It makes my heart go so quick, and I can feel my chest. I can feel my heart in my chest, and I don't like that. It's not nice.
Yeah, anybody in the chat or anybody on Emily's live, anybody with issues regarding their spine and have any questions regarding cortical spine, please don't hesitate to message me. I'm quite happy to help anybody. Heather, if you want to have a chat with me, please private message me, and I will have a chat with you regarding the issues that you've been having.
Aye.
And I relate to Summer as well. There's a lot of issues that she was on about as well. But like, I'm there for anybody, the same as Emily and everyone else in this live. I'm there for anybody. I'm quite happy to talk to anybody. But thank you so much, Emily, for your live. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, darling.
Coming on. But yeah, please, guys, add me. Anyone on this live who wants to add me, I'm quite happy to accept any friends. But yeah, Emily, if you can send me that information,
yeah,
I'd be grateful. I do appreciate it. It would be nice to find another hospital that actually listen to me and basically try and help me a bit more than what I'm getting out of my own GP. I've given up on my own GP regarding my pain.
I don't blame you. This doctor was absolutely fantastic. I've got to give him his dues. He was brilliant. I walked in and he had a face like thunder, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be another one of those appointments. And I sat down and he looked at me and he said, hi. And I was like, hi. And he turned the computer screen to face me, and I could see my spine, and it was a scan of my spine. And he said, this scan is from 2010. And even I could see what it was. Even I could see that it was scoliosis, and I'm a layperson, and I know barely anything about, radiology.
Could you sue the hospital for basically not diagnosing you, even though you had X-rays to prove?
Yes.
Well, why do you not?
Because I can't be bothered. It's too much stress, and I don't need more stress in my life.
No, I understand, but I just wondered.
No, it is something that, I have thought about, but it's just one of those things that, there'd be so many different departments to actually sue that all said, there's nothing wrong with you, when there clearly was. Because you can see my spine goes down and then, whee!
I need to find out, is the issue with my back and my spine, is that causing me issues with my knees now? Because my knees are a nightmare at the moment. I put my hand on my knee and it feels like the bone is like crunching together on both my knees.
Do you see the only way I can think of describing it, I call it a graunching feeling, which I know is probably a made up word, but it's a Midlands thing. And if you imagine pressing something hard down on a piece of like the foam that you get inside a cushion.
Yeah.
So you press it down. Does it feel like that when you press your kneecap down?
Yeah. On both my knees.
That's exactly what I get as well. And I did get told I needed to have my knee strained, and then the next time I went to the doctors, they were like, oh no, you're fine, you don't need to have it done. And it's like, my knees are massive. They are super swollen all the time. You can literally see that there's too much fluid in there. Please drain them. Nope, not going to do anything about it.
Well, they're telling me I've got to go for physio regarding when I went to my GP the other day. When I mentioned about my knees and my hands, they told me, oh, you got to go to physio.
God's sake.
I was like, well, no, because I've had physio and it don't do nothing.
Look. Right, we're going to go Milo, Sue, Secret Haven, Amy, Shy Zombie.
Right, Emily, drop me out, and thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for all the gifts. And like I said, anybody with order requiring your issues or have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me. But thank you so much, Emily, for letting me join.
Thank you for coming up and sharing with us. It's really, really useful. Thank you, darling.
No, thank you very much. And everyone, take care, and please don't hesitate if you want to have a chat or feel like you can't sleep, please private message me. And I'm quite happy for you to have my number and text or phone call if you can't sleep and you need someone to talk to. I'm always at the end of the phone for everybody.
Oh, thank you, Eleanor. That's really sweet of you.
That's no problem, Emily. You take care, lovely. Thank you.
You too, darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Milo, sorry it took so long to get to you.
That's okay. Hi. I only wanted to say something a bit small because I've noticed that a lot of people have said that Kirsten is dangerous, and she is. But I don't think people notice how dangerous sometimes. Like, they say it's for specific people who are on certain medications. Like when she tells people not to take them, or she's on the wrong ones, whatever, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to add to that point that for people watching that aren't on medications, but are, from my point of view, a young carer, that is also very dangerous. Because I don't know if she has talked about codeine before, but I think she might have. Could be wrong on that, so don't take my word for it. But for example, codeine is something that the person I care for takes, and if she was to take too many or to take too little, it could cause a big issue.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that a lot of people need to remember she's not just dangerous on her mods, and people watching. She's dangerous on everyone's outside of that.
Yeah.
In your real life, it's dangerous on that. That was pretty much all I wanted to add, because I don't really think...
No, 100%. There's been quite a few videos. Okay, Elena. There's been quite a few videos where people have shared about where people have shared her discussing her medication, and it's raised red flags with everyone. The amount of medication. I don't know if you saw the video. She said the other day that she takes 44 different medications.
I might not have seen that one. I see a lot of them every day, so I don't remember every single one.
Yeah. But, you know, when you start there thinking, 44? What? Do you mean you're taking 44 medications? Come on now.
There's no way they would react together.
I was only on about that many meds when I was in ITU, but that was different.
I could be wrong, but if she was on that many medication, would it not react together?
Yes, they would. Now, I've got, I'm on 2 medications that, when taken together, can cause serotonin sickness. So I have to be careful and be aware of the symptoms, and to make sure that I don't have any of the symptoms. And if I do start having any of the symptoms, I have to deal with it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And right, okay, someone said, but she uploaded a picture of morning and night meds. In total, it was like 12 meds. Yes, but that video was quite a while ago. That was when I was still modding, so it was quite a lot. And yeah, someone did a video and they were talking, and they put the 44 medications at the start, and then someone had looked up the medication she was originally saying that she was on and how they would interact with one another, and something that I said to her and her father on numerous occasions. You do realise these medications are not supposed to be taken at the same time, and you do realise that they're not supposed to be pushed as fast as they are, and you are aware that her taking them together can cause this to happen, which could be why she's having her seizures.
It's honestly so scary to watch.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's terrifying. It scares me every time I see a video, because I don't know anything.
You don't know what you're expecting.
I really don't.
And the problem is with her, because she loves to show off, she'll tell you what she's taking. Oh, I'm going to put this through now. I'm going to put that through now. And you've got young, impressionable, or vulnerable people watching who might copy her and might go, oh yeah, I can take morphine with oxycodone and with codeine. That's going to be perfectly safe for me. It's like, no, it's not. Never do that. Never, ever do that.
No, I'm a young carer to one of my parents, and won't say anything specific because that's her life, not mine. But she's been on multiple medication, so many that I can't even list them all. And we still have so many downstairs, which I'm not gonna lie, we should probably take some of them to the pharmacy, but that is what it is. If she was to do anything like that, she would be in the hospital so fast.
Yep.
And there's many.
And the thing is, like, she pushes all these meds into a NJ, which we all know is just another NG, and she pushes them super quickly. And I saw a video someone did the other day, and they were like, well, why does it matter? Because it gets drained back out. No, it matters because what people seem to forget is you can clamp off your tubes. So if she pushes through her medication, all of her medications through one tube, and she's got the clamp on, the drainage tube, all that's going to stay in her stomach. And like I've tried to explain to her father, she'll take her medication and within 10 minutes, she's having a seizure. Well, seizure.
Yeah.
And what she's actually doing is nodding out because she's ODing herself.
I really hate, like, when it comes to her having a seizure, I really hate that, because my mum got put on a medication that caused her to have a seizure. And it's a medication that you would never expect her cause any sort of seizures. It was, I believe, I don't know because I wasn't there, but I believe she says it was some sort of antidepressant, and then she had a seizure of a reaction. Now, I'm lucky I wasn't there, and it could have been awful, but just the fact, like, I know so many people who do have epilepsy, who have absent seizures, and having seizures due to medication, which she's not, I find is absolutely ridiculous, and it scares me every time. Every time.
Same. And like someone said in the comments, she drains the shit meds and clamps the meds which give her the high.
It's honestly, it's such a strange thing to see as well. It's just, never seen anyone ever do anything like that. Not ever in my life.
No. It's very jarring, and this is why, like, I don't know if you've been with us since the start, but this is why we all discussed earlier that we have tried reporting her to TikTok. We have reported lives. We've reported videos she's uploaded for, medication use, which you're not supposed to do on here. It's supposed to be banned on here, but she does it. Using needles, again, banned on here, but she does it. The fakey shakies that she has, medical episodes, no violation found. When she passes out, no violation found. And it's just like, well, what else are we supposed to do? What can we, as just basic people, do when we're watching her do this on live? And she's constantly doing stuff that's dangerous, and not only doing stuff that's dangerous, but, while she's not telling people to copy her, she's got impressionable people watching her who could copy her, and yet injecting a groin, no violation found.
It doesn't make any sense to me, because me and a lot of my family, we have ADHD and learning difficulties. We forget a lot of things. So a lot of the time, Mom forgets what medication she has or hasn't taken. If she was to do that and take double or triple or less than she's supposed to, it could become so fatal so fast. And she sits there and does it for fun. At least it looks like it. I know it's not, but, like, she doesn't need all those medications.
No. And the thing is, there's mixed thoughts on the whole medications thing, because while, like, on the one hand, there could be the stuff that she's pushing through could not be medication at all. It could just be coloured water. Or it could be medication. And if it is medication, then that brings people up with the question of, well, how is she getting hold of them? And as I said in my last live, and I'm not going to give further information, I will literally just stick with the smallest amount of information as I can. It is very easy to get even controlled medication.
Oh yeah,
very
definitely.
Ready?
It really shouldn't be, but I know it definitely is. And I don't know if I've been here from exactly the start, but I do remember I used to watch her lives for months, because I have a lot of issues myself, mentally, physically. I have a lot of problems with my joints, so 9 times out of 10 is what should I say there? I'm in my bed all the time. Currently getting tested, so I can't say I have anything for certain, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm going to have definitely, like, anything she's claiming to have. I do have family members that have some things that she's claimed, but that is what it is. And I've lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, my brain does that all the time. It just goes, nope, turned off now.
It'll come back to me eventually, but it's completely gone.
It's all right, don't worry. You can just sit there until it comes back to you. We were going Sue first, weren't we?
Hey.
Hello, darling.
Excuse me. I've not been well for the last few days, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit crap.
Oh, bless you. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right, thank you. So I know Christy and Heather were saying earlier on that they both have BPD, and I'm actually still dealing
Yes, I
with my.
do.
So I'm still well, I was diagnosed in November last year, and I've basically been battling it ever since. But also on top of that, I've got ADHD. And then there was another one, which is SA. I'm hoping people know what I mean by SA, if that makes any sense to anyone. So I don't really want to say it. So yeah,
Yes.
that, and then obviously I've got the other two normalised ones, shall I say, is the best way to put it. I was just wondering, like, because I've been told from my ADHD meds through my GP surgery that when we did the second form after I went through, now let me get this right, Psychiatry UK to get my diagnosis in the first place, because the mental health teams at my area were not helping me. I've now been told it's like a 5-year wait, and I was wondering if like anyone can, like, is there anything else I could be doing in the meantime to get me keeping my flat together?
So,
sorry, what was that, Amy?
I went through pretty much the same thing, really. So here in Kent, it's one of the most difficult in the county to get an ADHD diagnosis, because we have to go through a hub before they refer you on. But the issue is, if you've got, let's say, history of risks, they won't do online, which means you need face-to-face, and then that takes double the time.
So when I had my diagnoses done, I went through Psychiatry UK, which was then an online assessment, and I went to my GP to get I went to my GP to get them to refer me off, and then basically I was left waiting for absolute ages, knowing that there was something wrong.
Do you have any mental health professionals involved in your care?
So in Kent, mental health team will not touch ADHD, ASD. They actually if you're only diagnosed with that, the mental health team will discharge you in Kent. They do not. The psychiatrists don't have any training.
In Scotland.
Yeah, it's a bit in Kent in the southeast. They will not. Mental health teams have nothing to do with that service. I was diagnosed under Psychiatry UK, and I was treated first with them, and then what happened was, sorry, I was reading your sign language because I can read it. So what happened was, I was treated with them, but they nearly I can't say the word,
unalived.
They nearly unalived me and discharged me back to shared care with the GP when I was experiencing severe side effects from methamphetamine, which very much nearly unalived me. And then what happened was, because of that experience and side effects, when I went back for a meds review of Psychiatry UK, they refused me because I was a risk to myself with online due to what happened. And I went, the reason I was a risk was because you discharged me on it and I was having side effects from it. So then I had to wait extra longer for that face-to-face. So I do get, I do get, I don't know whereabouts you are, Sue Blacker 29.
So I'm up sort of, I don't know if anyone knows it, but I'm in sort of it's sort of Bath, but the outskirts of Bath, if that makes sense.
I haven't got a clue where Bath is. I'm not very good at
Southwest. Southwest.
Right,
so
okay.
It's not that far away from Wales, actually.
Oh, okay. So it's like the other side of Kent then. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole entire of the UK is buggered with the ADHD and ASD assessments. And I think that they're taking putting people in brackets or boxes, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, so the other thing is as well is that this is where I've kind of got like a little bit annoyed with the Psychiatry UK diagnosis as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I've got it.
So you got it from them. Did you get treated with them, or did they refuse the
No,
treatment?
so what they said in the letter back that they gave me was that they'd given me the 3 diagnoses, and then they said because they thought that I was too severe for them to self-titrate me, I had to go back to my GP surgery and then go back down the NHS route of going to get my medication, basically. So I'm now waiting.
When was this? When, if you mind me asking, when was this that they told you this?
So I had the meeting in October last year, but my diagnosis letter didn't come through till the November.
No, it's exactly the same time as what they told me.
No, stand corrected. Sorry. So I had the meeting in the October, and it wasn't until I had rang up well after Christmas to say, you've given me all of these diagnoses, but yet I've had no letter that I can run back to my GP surgery with and go, I need your help to get self-titrated because I have no way of being able to control myself. And again, I don't know who said it earlier, but I've been actually saying, well, you know, there's been so many times that I've been in crisis, and I'm not going to say what those crises were. But back in August this year, I had 2 weeks away from my flat because I was just getting so stressed out in my flat that everything was just getting on top of me and I needed to be away. So I went off to sort of what they do call up here in my area, or from wherever people sort of mean. They call it sort of like a crisis house type thing. So I was so I got into that for 2 weeks, and I'm also due to go back again in November. But the problem with that is that you only get like 4 stays in the financial year, so you have to really space them out. And because my mental health teams, even if I was to go up to our local hospital, which is the Royal United Hospital in Bath, even if I was to go up there and tell them that I'm in crisis, the mental health teams literally just go, oh, well, here's some more antibiotics, like here's some more antidepressants or something like that, and just ping us back off with like, oh, if things get worse, come back. So I'm not going to go into like my friend's details too much, but my friend was recently in our local hospital and is now in another crisis house further away from where we live, and is then coming home this weekend and then having 2 nights at home and then going to the one that I was at in August for another 2 weeks because she's not safe being at home. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm trying to look after myself, but I'm also then trying to help her out and let her know that I'm still here, but I'm struggling myself at the moment because I haven't got the medications that I know I need.
It is a hard one. I'm a bit speechless that you said it's around that. It's exactly the same time as they told me that they would not give me a med review. And I've just saw someone else got told the same thing, and I said, whenabouts was it? Because it seems to be all in the same time bracket that there seems to be refusing to give medication. Mine was a med review, but they gave me the med that nearly unalived me and left me on my own with that, with the GP that had no clue on side effects, but now won't give me a med.
When my Psychiatry UK letter got sent back to my GP turned around and said to me, well, we can obviously see that Psychiatry UK aren't going to self-titrate you because they think that you're too severe for that service. And it was also recommended in my letter that they were to refer me back off to our local mental health services. So my GP had done that, which was fine. And I think it was within about a week, I had a letter back from the mental health services going, we've reviewed your case and we have decided that X, Y, and Z is best, and we're now discharging you again. And I'm like, but I've done all of that, and yet you're still discharging me. You're not coming to me and screaming at me and asking me what it is I need.
If you mind me asking, do your mental health team in your area deal with ADHD and ASD. Here in Kent, they don't have any dealings with it. My psychiatrist, I have to tell him what the side effects and when I'm allowed to take my stimulant ADHD meds, because he has no clue whatsoever.
I don't know, but when I last went to them, when I was last speaking with my mental health services, because they also think that I have complex emotional needs. Now that's the mental health teams.
It is, but also it can be related to ADHD and ASD. I suffer with that.
And I've also been told it can be related to my BPD as well.
Yeah, so I was misdiagnosed with the EUPD, and then the ADHD come, and they were like, "That's what it is," and I was like, "I've just spent 3 years in a full-time therapy. Thank you very much."
Yeah, so I've known that I've had something on the lines of ADHD since I was about 11, but it was only when I was talking to someone else last year that has when I was talking to someone else at a mental health service that I regularly use, and she was talking to me about Psychiatry UK and things like that, and she said to me, it was basically go through this, do this, this and this. If you need any advice, come and see me. And there was one time that I had booked in to go to this session of an evening time, and she went, "Have you done it?" And I said, yeah, I've been to the doctor, I said this. And she said, "Oh, have you heard anything about having your assessment yet?" And I said, "No." And then I went again a few weeks later and I said, "Oh, I've got my assessment letter now." And it was on that date. And she was like, "Oh, great, let me know how it goes." Did the assessment. A few weeks later, I'd gone back to the same service and I went, "I've had the assessment and they diagnosed me with this, this and this." And she went, "Are they self-titrating you?" And I went, "No." And she was like, "Right, okay, next plan of action is to go back to your GP and get them to refer you back off to the medication service."
Imagine face-to-face then?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on at all.
That's what psychiatrists do. If you're too high risk or you have mental health issues that they don't want to deal with, they're like, "Oh, you need face to face," and I'm like, "Oh well, you didn't think about that when I had a history before."
Yeah, this is the thing, Amy, because I don't have because I'm not. How do I say it? Sorry, my train of thought has gone straight out the window.
I just had an idea, just had a brainwave. I don't know why, because I've taken my meds.
You carry on and say that whilst my train of thought comes back.
Yeah, I've taken my meds, so I have no idea why this brain wave, or this brain fart, as I call it, came on. But, go back to your GP and ask to be put through Right to Choose again, but with a different service.
Yeah.
You can do Right to Choose more than once.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. But
go back and say, "I don't want Psychiatry UK, can you pass me on to someone else?"
Yeah. Because see, this is the problem is what I'm annoyed with is that I know I've had ADHD since I was about 11, because even when I was in classes and stuff like that, I mean, there were certain subjects that I really, really enjoyed and really, really loved doing and things like that. So I would really pay attention in those. But then there was other subjects that I was like, I really don't want to be in this subject. I can't be bothered. And then I'd cause mischief through the whole entire lesson, or I'd go up to the teacher and be like, "Can I go and stand outside because I need to calm down? I need to be in a calm area." And that would just really, really annoy me.
Good on you, Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the whole ADHD and ASD assessments diagnosis in the UK is fucking shocking. I feel like if you don't have the money to go private, you're absolutely fucked.
Well, yeah, this is the thing, because and also this is what a lot of people have said to me as well. Although I went through Psychiatry UK to get my diagnosis, is because the mental health services, excuse me, the mental health services up here didn't want to actually clock on and be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get you a psychiatrist, we'll get you diagnosed with this, this and this." They basically turned around and fobbed it off. But when I got referred back to them, they were like, "Oh well, we don't believe that Sue has experience of a BPD. It's more of the emotional dysregulation, or the EDR is basically what I'm going to say. I'm hoping people know what I mean by that. I'm hoping so anyway. So that was what they said on that. And I was just like, but you've got the paperwork in front of you. Like, why are you not listening to me?
In NHS Lothian, they are not allowed to pursue autism diagnoses unless that person's in severe danger. Or, which basically means if they're sectioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad.
I was actually, I never went through Right to Choose for my ADHD or the ASD assessment. My psychiatrist.
No, I didn't either.
My mental health team done it, and I.
It was my CPN.
Sorry?
It was my CPN that decided to go down that route.
Yeah, well, the psychiatrist did it without me knowing, to be honest. I mean, I think they had last year, the ASD one come back, so they didn't know what to do, what was wrong with me. It turned out to be the meds, which I found out myself in the August. Because once I stopped that med, my mental health was completely fine after that. It's been fine since. I've been fine now for over a year. Weird how one medication can destroy someone's mental health to the point where I was so poorly and screaming on the floor, begging them that something is wrong. And they would turn around and go, oh, you're back again, aren't you? Goodbye.
That was the same with me with amitriptyline.
I've never been so humiliated in the middle of A&E by the crisis team that I sat there and I thought, they're never going to help me. And I think I actually think this is going to kill me. Oh, sorry, wrong one, unalive me. Do you know what I mean? Like I was screaming on the floor saying there's something wrong with me. This isn't the normal burnout that I have yearly. This is different. This has gone on for 10 months and I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been sectioned twice in the matter of that. And they were going, oh, it's because of what happened to you. Because I had a traumatic experience which led to a section. But yeah, it was the meds. And then Psychiatry UK turned around and said, oh, no, you're too risky now. Oh, okay. I wasn't risky the first time round then, no? You idiots. Yeah. Anyway,
the mental health system is broken.
It is. I'm going to quickly speak about the whole A&E and hospital and medication and someone getting hold of stuff.
Okay.
I have experience with that. Where I was very unwell. I was waiting on a trolley for 8 days in A&E. 8 days I was in A&E on a trolley. Waiting for a mental health bed. I wasn't very well, and I was having sensory overload meltdowns at least 10 times a day, and I was just in full anxiety. I was keep running off and stuff like, because I just couldn't cope. I couldn't cope with the noise, the lights in A&E. I don't know about light. I don't know about anyone else, but the lights. What is wrong with A&E's lights? I'm sorry.
They're way too bright. They do not need to be that bright.
No, exactly. And, I had to share one toilet with the whole of A&E for 8 days. And the amount of times that they were like, I'm sorry, you can't use that one, it's blocked. And I'm like, but I'm not allowed to use any other toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was stuck on a trolley. It very overstepped, but the noise in A&E is too much. You've got ambulance people coming in and out, but also I'm terrified of the crisis team, so they keep coming in and out, and I'm terrified of them, so because of what they did, so I was terrified and they were coming in and out. I was horrible. Anyway, I wasn't very well, and I was put in a different room to the A&E mental health room because it was too much, and they put me in a different room, and they could trust me a little bit. I had the security sitting outside the door, but I was allowed in the room by myself. And I had a bit of a meltdown, and all I can remember is being restrained by some random policewoman, which I couldn't tell you where she came from, the nurse in charge of A&E and the staff in the mental health room trying to get certain medications off me at the time. I was not sectioned, so they can restrain you if they think that you're going to take such things, but not that. The medication. Sorry, did I not say certain words? I don't want to get you bananas.
No, you're not going to go with Bernard. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, a nurse had left certain medication of mine. It was my meds on the side and didn't lock them away, and they are a controlled ADHD medication. She did not lock them away. That is illegal. They need to be locked in a locked cupboard in A&E, but she didn't. She left them on the side in a mental health room with other patients in that room. And what happened was I went into that room and I'm not going to say anymore. But I was very unwell, and obviously when I wasn't thinking straight, and to be honest, I couldn't tell you how I even got there. I couldn't even tell you what made me lose control, if that makes sense. But it is easy, and people make mistakes, and so do professional people. Nurses accidentally do that mistake, but everyone's human. So, and that's probably what happened to her. Something was left open, or she saw something and she took it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we all know she's not very well. Clearly, she's absolutely delusional. And clearly she is quite unwell, actually, thinking about it now. You look back, especially the last couple of days, and think, wow, actually, thinking about it, you are, like, really unwell.
100%.
You know? And do you know that message I sent you about my experience when I was on the ward, and there was a certain girl that had psychosis and thought her limbs were falling off. Her eyeballs were falling out, and she was convinced that they were falling off and her eyeballs were falling out. And every time we were like, no, you're walking, like you're using your arms, you can see us, you're fine. No. And she would go and full meltdown and go mad, like absolutely crazy, because she thought her eyes were falling out. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It was the first time I'd seen quite severe psychosis like that, but I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kirsten does know in a way what she's doing, and that's what's scary about it.
And we all know that off camera, she's walking around because we've heard it.
Yes.
So she is aware of what she's doing.
And she's ordering food. She's eating food.
Yeah. The thing is, with Kirsten, you can't say that she's someone who believes her own lies, because she doesn't, because she knows she can walk. She knows that she hasn't got to go. She doesn't need to be tube fed. She knows that she doesn't need those medications. She knows she doesn't have any of those conditions. She just wants to pretend because she likes the attention she gets, especially the attention she gets off her dad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. She wants all of that attention that she saw her sister getting, and she wants to keep that for as long as she possibly can.
Oh my God, someone just put in the comments, Kay said the other day that she thinks she has ADHD and she'll have a diagnosis next week. I can tell you now she definitely wouldn't be, because people are waiting years for a diagnosis. So if she says that, I'll be saying something.
Yeah.
Because people wait years for that, and she does not have ADHD. She can sit in a bed all day. I wish I could sit in a bed all day. I can't sit still.
Not being funny, I was told it could take anything up to 6 years before I got my diagnosis.
Yeah, 10 at the moment for NHS is 7 years. My friend got a letter.
Exactly, and I was lucky to have it with even in the short amount of time that I was referred. Let alone now trying to get the medication titration. I'm having great difficulties trying to get that. And
but it won't surprise me if she does say she has it next week. Oh, actually, even tomorrow. Actually, scrap that. It'll be tomorrow.
Give it by like 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. She would have said she's got it. Surely.
Well, actually,
if not earlier.
She's still on at 6 a.m. Probably 6 or half 6.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's going to do an all-nighter tonight, then it might be about 6. You know, she usually goes off around 7, because that's when she has a little snooze, or like she said, she's an A&E. Apparently, no, she goes to bed to sleep because she falls asleep on live, and then she goes to bed so we can all go to bed, like the screen recorders can all go to sleep, and then she reawakes, rolls out of bed, because you can see she's rolled out of bed, gets onto live and goes, "Oh, I've been in A&E." I'm like, "You've just woken up, you little idiot."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to let Secret Haven.
Can you drop me?
Yeah, of course can.
Thank you.
I'll mute down.
Stop me start screaming and doing.
Right, Secret Haven.
Evening. I just wanted to ask, a quick question because it's something that Kay said earlier and it's been doing my absolute nutting all day. I'm one of these people that I'll wind myself up with something someone else has said.
Yeah.
So she said that the other day she rang the occupational therapist, the OT, and they were going to come in this week to sort out a new banana board and, you know, new equipment for her. Now, I've been waiting 2 years to get handrails in my shower. I've got a overhead shower that's in a bathtub. I literally am at the point now where I'm having to lob myself in the bath. It's like a dolphin show abroad. That is me getting in the shower.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that image is
it's funny. It's really funny that that's how I cope humour, and I go a bit loopy after 12. So, but like, how is she getting? Is that her Disney Fast Pass, or is that normal for an OT to come so quick?
No, it's not. What it will be is what will actually be happening is that she's ordered new stuff offline and it's going to be coming next week. And what she'll do is she won't show the OT being there. She won't show anything that's got the OT stickers on, because we all know any items that come from OT, in general, if they're movable items, have stickers on them that state what they're from. I've got one on my trolley that's in the kitchen. I've got one on my shower seat that's in the bathroom. And they will have, she'll have records of the fact that the OT have been out and for, details for each of the items that she's been given, because what they actually are, OT don't actually give you the items, they are loaned to you, and it's a long-term loan.
Rented, I got a bath lift, but I had to get rid of it because it stunk, and I was like, I'm not having that.
Yeah, what will actually happen is she will state that they have been, and that she's so happy that they've come back, that they've come in, and look at what they've given her, and she'll show you her brand new stuff that she's actually ordered offline.
Well, it mustn't be on Amazon Prime then, if it's taken a couple of days.
Yeah.
Maybe her subscription's run out. Should we ask him for Amazon Prime subscription later? Mark my words. But it just frustrated me because I was like, when I'm in the shower as well, I've got one of the suction handles, but that'll just come off randomly, and next minute I'm in the sink.
Yeah, I know. That's why I gave up with those, because I did have one myself and it kept on falling off, and it's like, no, I'm going to get more damaged by using that and putting my weight on it and it giving way than if I just try and clamber out the bath like I'm the girl from The Ring.
Yeah, it's madness, and because my condition is muscle wasting.
Sorry to interrupt you, Evelyn. I'm just going to go ahead and get some sleep, but I'll message you tomorrow.
All right, Christy, darling. I'm not going to be on for much longer either, because I'm knackered and I've got to get up early in the morning.
Right, love you.
Love you, darling. Night, night.
Night. But yeah, because my condition is a muscle wasting, it affects my balance, so I have to decide, do I risk my life and keep my eyes open, or do I get soap in my eyes?
Yeah.
And I'm covered in bruises from climbing over and it's not very ladylike either.
No,
especially when you're in the shower, and I've got my legs over the bath and everything. And then she's there saying, "Oh yeah, I'm getting all this stuff next week."
Yeah, like I said, what it will be is she's ordered it from somewhere and it will all come in, and like I say, none of it will have labels on it. I can guarantee you now. And she won't have any paperwork that goes with it.
That's something I'm going to look out for, actually.
So it'll be, she might have a receipt for it from the online shop she bought it from, but it won't have any of the stickers and the barcodes on it. She'll have bought it offline. I can guarantee you now. Guarantee it.
Also, and she doesn't even need it. She transferred her one hand earlier.
Yep. Well, she's like a because she can bloody walk.
Also, because I'm in the same catchment area as Kay, if you ever see her using stuff, the people who supply it are NFST. If you look for those stickers, which are never on her products anyway, that is who supplies the catchment area.
for all OT stuff.
Look out for those 4 little. She's gonna. Someone's just said she will. She'll write it on.
Yeah.
That's it. Now she knows.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to ask, because I was sitting there for ages thinking, is it just me? Do the OT want to see me struggle?
No, it's not just you. The OT, like the wait for OT here is absolutely ridiculous as well. So, and I think it is for most people. You know, even if you're in desperate need, they still take forever. You know, you might be lucky and get the odd good one here and there where they've got a gap or they've had a cancelled appointment, so you might see them earlier. But yeah, no, she likes to act like she's so disabled that everyone puts her first, and it's like, dude, no, you're just not.
No, it's like she's some VIP. I had the OT come out and like go around my house, and I got all like the mobility aids and stuff. Even though 2 years ago I wasn't as bad as I was now, because it's progressive. There's no cure, so it is just your muscles literally are gonna go bye. At least I'll have skinny legs on, like, muscle wastage, unlike someone.
Yeah.
But see, I get nasty after 12.
Don't worry.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to know. But I'll jump down anyway, and I'll let someone else have a say before I say something I shouldn't.
All right then, darling. I'm not going to add.
Is it possible I could speak, please?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to add anyone else after the people that are in here, because I'm going to wrap up the live once everyone's said what they need to say. Okay? So I will be going live again next Wednesday. So, Sarah, go.
Hi. This is quite hard for me. I've had a hard couple of weeks, and when I came in the room earlier, her dad was at my front door earlier today demanding stuff. But I'm going to go back. I was in hospital with Kay, and because she was in the same catchment area as me and I was naive at the time, we became quite friendly. And she used me for all sorts of stuff. And when I came out of hospital and tried to rebuild my life again, she found out where I lived. And her dad used to come round every week. She would send me messages. I need this, I need that, I need money. The list goes on and on and on. And like a stupid fool, I gave it to her.
Don't call yourself that. You weren't a stupid fool. You believed her the same as most of us did. And that's on her, that's not on you.
And it made my life incredibly difficult. And I think since this has all come out, I have had, like most people, quite a rough time trying to deal with it and stuff. And this sort of past sort of month, when I've spoken to Sally and stuff and got documentation and all things like that, and spoken to the police, an injunction was put in place for her not to contact me and any member of her family. Yes, her dad was arrested outside of my house last night. I don't know what's going to happen again with that. I know he's still in police custody at the minute because the police have not long gone. But for me, I don't know. I feel like I've lost myself in all of this. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. I feel very vulnerable, like most of the people who are involved in this and trying to navigate your way through it. It's just incredibly difficult.
to try and sort of get a way through. But I really appreciate everything that everybody is doing to try and try and get help for her, because she isn't well. She is very manipulative. She can walk. I've seen her in a hospital appointment walk. She wasn't in her chair. She walked straight across, checked herself in and sat down. We have video evidence of this. It's awful.
No. I'm sorry that you went through that. Have you got support around you, like family, friends, etc., etc.?
Yeah, my wife is here. She's asleep at the moment. I can't sleep. Got too many things going around in my head. But she's here and she's really supportive, and it's just.
I'm glad you've got someone that's around you. And I'm glad that you've actually got support from someone who is going to stand by you through everything that you're going through. And unfortunately, it seems to be the par for the course with Kirsten. She will use people until she's used them dry, and then she will dump them. And you have the most unfortunate situation because you live close to her. And she knows where you live. Me and Sally will be there to support you as much as we can, and hopefully the police will do the right thing with regard to John and explain to him, you go near her again and it's like you're going to court.
I think the policeman was trying to basically say that he possibly will go to court in the morning. I don't think he is going to be released because there was an injunction put in, and with all the doorbell footage of when he was coming and what he was coming and the conversations that were had. Yeah. I just, it's very difficult. I don't want it anymore. I need to shut that chapter of my life and try and help in what way I can for her to get the help.
Yeah.
Because she isn't a nice person.
No, the thing is, she needs help, and her dad needs to take responsibility for his role in what's going on, and needs to actually put his foot down and help her instead of placating her, because she's not a 5-year-old who's having a temper tantrum. She is a grown-ass adult, and she needs to start acting like it, and he needs to start treating her like it.
I totally agree, but I feel like John just aids everything.
Yeah, he does, 100%.
They're both in it together.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I honestly think that they are in a codependent relationship.
Yeah.
That she needs to be sick so she can get the attention off him, and he needs her to be sick so he can have that dependent, someone completely reliant on him at all times. And it's a very sick and twisted relationship when you actually look at it.
It is. It's awful. I remember from going back to my hospital days, it was pretty much the way it is now. But I think in anything, it's got worse.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this is all going to end, or whether or not she will get help. But I do believe that you've got Sally and yourself knocking on doors, and like I said to Sally the other day, Norfolk is a very, very hard place with services. They seem to shut the door very, very quickly until something, as I said to Sally, something quite major happens.
Yeah.
And then the door will open, and then things will move.
Which is ridiculous that they actually wait that long instead of dealing with it now, when it can be dealt with a lot easier than once the full breakdown has hit.
Totally. I just feel like
making it with everything that Sally has it and you have it's like they're making it incredibly difficult. It's like they're ignoring what is going on. Yet if they were to turn on their phones and just put it in and watch it themselves, they would be able to see what we see every day.
Yeah.
Even if we don't follow her or been blocked or anything, it comes up and it's like, here we go again. What else is going to happen? You know, it's awful. And the way she portrays disabled people and, you know, oh, I've got this disability and that disability, I can categorically say, you know, pretty much of it is in your head. It's not true. It's a totally false representation. It's a totally false representation of our hospital service as well.
Yeah.
And our NHS in our catchment area, it's awful. It really is awful.
And yeah, I agree with you there, Natty. She needs to get help, but also while she gets help, he needs to not be able to see her 100%. Yes. They need to be removed from each other.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because she's never going to get help with him next to her. It's never going to happen.
It's like they goad one another.
It's like they have a folie à deux.
What's that?
Madness of two.
That's it. I have heard of that before. That's in some film, isn't it?
It's also, there were these two sisters in the UK that ran onto a motorway they basically said that they had it as well. But it's folie à deux.
Folie à deux. Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up because that's definitely in a film. I've got to write that down because otherwise it's going to be my head. It will stick in my brain until I actually look it up.
They just desperately need to be separated and people need to, you know, actually authorities need to take note and actually deal with this and stop passing it from pillar to post or sending an email saying, yes, we're aware, you know.
Yeah, because that's what I got. Because I rang and all I got was, yeah, we are aware of it. We're dealing with it. And it's like, are you though? Are you actually though? Or are you just telling everyone that you're dealing with it and you're not? And I understand it takes time and I understand they've got to make sure they've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and they've got all the information there. But like, you know, information has been passed on, phone numbers and contact details have been passed on to them, and yet none of us have been contacted for further information. And you just think, if just one of them contacted me, for example, and asked for further information, I can provide details, including screenshots, to back up everything that I have said. You know, the threats that were made and the money that people sent to her and the way that we were treated as mods. I can back all of that up and I can show, like I was talking to some people earlier and I said, like, look, if you were mods after me and she sent you messages slagging me off, please forward them to me. It will be like, there will be no repercussions for anything you've said back. I'm not going to make any comment on anything you've said back because what I want to show is the pattern of behaviour. Because it's the same pattern every time. Mm-hmm. You're a mod, then she falls out with you or you fall out with her, and then she decides to slag you off to everyone, tells everyone you're a fake, tells everyone not to believe you, tells everyone you've just got mental health issues, and then she moves on to the next group of people. And it's that ad infinitum. Just going around in circles over and over again.
It is, and it needs to be broken, but it's how do you break that without authorities being involved?
Yeah. And you can't, the thing is, we need all of them to be involved. We need all of them to, like, all they need to do is watch what he's like when he gets called to her, passed out. Like, this was a couple of weeks ago. He was called, she was passed out, literally folded over in bed. You couldn't see her chest moving, and he walked in, picked up the phone and went, oh, just let me know if someone's called an ambulance because they're not needed, and then hung up the live. He hadn't even checked on her to see if she was breathing. If, you know, so clearly he knows that it's fake. Clearly he knows there's nothing wrong with her, but God forbid the day that there is.
I know.
And like, we have all tried to express that to him, to the police, to social services. Eventually, she is going to be the boy who cried wolf, and something bad is going to happen, and either no one's going to believe her, or her dad's going to take his sweet ass time to get to her, and it's going to be too late.
I know that John thinks it's absolutely hilarious. He finds it so funny.
Yeah.
That everybody's doing this. He doesn't see that Kay is doing anything wrong.
No. In his eyes, Kirsten is perfectly innocent, and everything she says is true, and everything everyone else says is a lie.
Yeah.
Which is just like even more of a broken relationship thing. Just like, what? It honestly, it hurts my brain.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Ellis, is there anything you want to put in with that? With what's been said? Teddy, sorry. Teddy.
Oh, hey.
Teddy.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
Hi. Yeah, no. Yeah, the whole... I honestly just think her and her dad really hate disabled people. They are very nasty towards the disabled. Sorry, my dog's kicking off.
It's alright, don't worry.
They're very like just absolutely horrific behavior, and the way they talk about people with actual illnesses and actual disabilities like makes me heave. Like, I can't, just their behavior. There's something about her dad that gives me a really bad feeling.
Yes, you're not the only one who's expressed
for
that
her
point of view. Yeah, you're not the only one who said that.
In terms of the medication she is giving herself and the state she is in, and the fact he doesn't seem to be bothered about that. If anything, he seems quite all right with it. And the reason I kind of, at first I just thought maybe I was like, just because of my own, like, because my dad had a very messed up relationship with my mum, who was an alcoholic. And she ended up leaving me with him, which led to me then being essayed and stuff by him. And just the way he sort of, it's just certain things that have happened that I'm really worried for her potentially being exploited by him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's something that's very weird about their relationship, and I think codependency is definitely a part of it, 100%. And I believe that Munchausen and Munchausen by proxy is definitely a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else that I can't put my finger on, and you're not the first, you're not the second, you're not even the fifth person that's expressed that concern.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I sent him a very measured, very well thought out message regarding his daughter's safety and what he was supposed to follow, the instructions he was supposed to follow that he was told by both the police and social services and her social worker. And him and his wife have not followed that. And the idea that he thinks it's perfectly fine for her to be on live, and like we asked him, because he did come on one of my lives and he was shouting and arguing the toss, and he said like, well, what are you going to do on the day that she gives herself too many meds and you can't get there on time? And his response was, well, I'll deal with that when it happens.
Jeez.
Sorry, what now?
That's insane. And
it's like, well, what if she has a seizure and she's not online? And he went, oh, well, that's not happened yet, so we don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. He's really,
it's like, well, you obviously know that she's faking it then, don't you? No, he's not.
Not at all.
It's like,
I think
if he
probably doing all this fakery anyway, but I think the way she medicates, something tells me it serves a purpose to him, and that's why he's allowing it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the first person to express that. Myself and Heather and Sally have had very long discussions about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, it's one of those things that we want to get her away from him and to get her the help she needs. And we think that part of her actually getting help would be getting her away from him.
Yeah, 100%.
And, you know, what we all want is, she's 25. Night Eleanor, she's 25. She should be living her life. She should be going out and meeting friends and having just finished university and meeting a boy and falling in love and all that crap, you know what I mean? Getting her first, like, proper job. She should be doing all those things, not spending all day, every day in that bed, wallowing in self-pity and pouring her bodily fluids into a bucket that sits under the bed, constantly putting tubes and medication into herself, and her only friends being the ones on the other side of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And she has a choice, like she can go out and make friends, and she's mobile and stuff like that. Like she has a choice, and it really angers me because I'm 24, so I'm a year younger than her, and I have POTS, probably EDS. I have FND. I've just like I've got a bunch of the things she's claiming to have, right?
Yeah.
And she's sitting there making out that it's something it's not.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just sitting there on live every day, like, you know, snapping in and out of paralysis as and when she pleases. Like, it's a mockery. I feel like it. I feel
No,
like
it is. It does
it's
make
hate
a mockery,
crime.
and everyone. This is the thing that she doesn't seem to realise, is that everyone who watches her has got health conditions and have the same sort of health conditions as she has, and they can all see that it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's making a mockery of the conditions. She's making a mockery of people who have to survive life with those conditions, and she's pushing more, like pushing the narrative more that we're all fakers.
Yeah, completely.
You know, it's hard
I'm
enough
scared,
for us
like-
to get taken seriously when, you know, we've got invisible conditions. So unless there's some magical bean invented in the future where we can take it and actually show our physical symptoms visibly, we're going to have to keep on fighting, and we fight and we fight and we fight to get taken seriously and to get the support we need and to get the help we need. And then you've got someone like Kirsten who just takes the piss.
She just seems to have been handed everything. Like, I don't get it.
And
Really
this is the thing: if you're online and you're online permanently and you're talking to people and you're making friends with them and you love bombing them and you're making them feel like they're special and all that jazz, and then, you know, you say to them, oh, I've only got one glucose pot left. I suppose I'll have to order some when I get paid. I've only got £4 in my account at the minute, though.
Yeah.
How is that not manipulation?
It is 100%.
You know what I mean? Because obviously some kind-hearted person in the comments is going to either send her the glucose or send her money.
Yeah.
And then
she could really do a lot of damage to herself with that glucose.
Yeah. Well, she could do a lot of damage to herself with any of it. That's the thing. And then I don't know if you saw, she did a post, or she did a live video and someone recorded part of it. And she did a live and she was talking about she gives herself medication 6 times a day.
I know, that's insane. Literally, the most I've ever heard is like 4.
Yeah. It's like even in hospital, they don't give it to you that often.
When I was in hospital, I think that, like, when I was in psychiatric hospital anyway, I think most people were on 4 times daily. That was like the max.
Yeah. Because that is the max for most things. That's why when you get like Dosset boxes, like I've got,
it's got 4, yeah.
It's got 4 main segments and then a PRN segment.
Yeah.
and that's it. It doesn't have 6 bloody segments. And if you get a Dosset box from the doctor, from the pharmacy, it has 5 sections. It's got your 4 sections for through the daytime, and then your PRN meds. Oh, someone said, I do have to take meds at 6 different times. Adele, can you explain that for me? Is that because you've got meds that have to be taken separately? Yeah, there we go, because you can't do all your medications in one go. See, and that comes back to what I've said all along.
Some things just don't mix, though, to be fair.
Yeah, see, that's what I've said all along, that she's mixing medications that she should not be mixing. She's taking medications at the same time.
That reacted with my antidepressant. I had to make sure I took them at opposite ends of the day.
Yeah, because I'm on gabapentin and I'm on medication to bring my heart rate down, and both of those medications together can cause serotonin sickness. So I'm safe to take them together, but I have to be mindful of all of the symptoms of serotonin sickness to ensure that I don't develop any of them.
Yeah.
Because it can develop.
I was on a lot of psych drugs at one point, and I was told about that. Serotonin syndrome.
As for the bruise on the top of her arm, yes, is it from a cannula or is it not? See, I was sent a message earlier. No, I didn't know this.
Sorry about that.
If you have pseudo seizures or non-epileptic seizures, and this is someone who messaged me and told me this. So she has pseudo seizures caused by, I can't remember what she said they were caused by, but they're non-epileptic seizures, and she experiences quite regularly the paramedics testing her to make sure that she's not faking a seizure, because she, oddly enough, has mental health problems, so she must be faking. And the paramedics have the right to pinch in certain areas to see if you react, because if you react, you're obviously not having a seizure.
Yeah, that was me that messaged you about that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say, because I didn't want to out you, because I keep private messages to myself.
Yeah, no, that was me. Yeah, I had a paramedic come out to me on his own, like a singular crew, and he decided immediately that I was faking, and then proceeded to pull me off the floor by my arm and dislocated it, and then just like dropped me on the floor and said, I hope no one dies unalived from a heart attack because I've had to come here for this fake seizure and stuff. He just left me, but he was repeatedly pinching me, and I ended up kicking him in the face.
I don't blame you.
I was confused. I was very confused, and I'd just been pulled off the floor by my arm. So,
also, pseudo does not mean genuine, not genuine / sham.
Not at all.
Sham. Pseudo seizures can happen in patients that are having non-epileptic seizures. Sometimes the word pseudo is used for pseudo seizures, which is funny because it's really difficult to say.
It's a really outdated term, but sadly it is still used. Like I've one of my medical notes, it says pseudo epilepsy.
Yeah, in response to a pain is a valid test if it's a pseudo seizure.
Yeah,
So
sure. They can tell the difference.
It's very possible that her bruises are from that.
Yeah, I reckon they probably walked in, took one look at her, could clearly see she was fine, or they read the notes and they know what she's like because they can flag an address. I used to be in supported living, and people there used to call all the time for no reason, like literally for a lift just for a lift to Slough, you know, like it was ridiculous, and they red flagged the address.
Yeah, no, so, I understand psychogenic is preferred, but I'm just saying pseudo seizures is something that is still used.
Yeah, honestly, they've got so many names now. It's just don't know what to call them anymore.
Oh, that's the thing. She's and yeah, she's a regular caller, and she's a known female to them. And yeah, her address is flagged. I can tell you that much. Her address is flagged. So if you ring up and say that you want to report someone having a seizure and they've passed out, or the seizure's been going on 15 minutes, and you give her name, they know her address because they know her name off by heart.
Yeah.
No, I'm not adding any more guests at the moment because I'm winding down because I want to go to bed because it's 2:00 and I've got to get up early in the morning.
Oh, jeez. It's 2:00.
Because I have to wake up for my son at 7 in the morning because he's got to go to school, so I get up with him and all that jazz. I enjoyed the summer holidays and not having to get up until 9. It was so much fun. He's like, Mum, I'm saying hello.
He's a nightmare. He's so noisy.
Don't worry, I've got 4 cats that are currently all fast asleep on the sofa, which means in about 20 minutes they're all going to go absolutely
Who
batshit
is it that's
crazy.
got the cat that keeps like screaming in the background? Is it is it Alex?
No, that's not Alex. That's Dobby, and the cat's name is
white
Dobby.
cat.
Yeah, the cat's name's Dobby. It's Amy. There you go.
I love that cat. Screaming in the background all the time.
It's just like, say hello to me. Say hello to me. Stop ignoring me, mummy. See, this is one of my favourite kitties.
Oh, he looks like a cat version of my dog.
Oh, that's Bluebell. Isn't he blue? Yeah, you little licky tongue. You, gorgeous boy. You gorgeous boy. Yeah? You beautiful boy? Yeah. You ready to start mayhem, aren't you? You're like, what can I do that's going to be naughty? Because that's what he likes to do. He likes to be as naughty as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all. Oh, he's screaming now. Amy, bless you. Right, I'm going to wind down now and go to bed. Thank you all for joining the live tonight, and thank you all for, as per usual, keeping it respectful and polite. What does a red flagged address do? Basically, it means that anyone who's going to that address, any paramedic that's going to that address will see how many time-wasting calls have been made for that address in the past, for want of a better phrase. To phrase it very politely, Mr. Fred says, meow. Mr. Fred is my cat. Hello, Mr. Cat. Mr. Cat, no. Hello, Mr. Fred. Meow. No, don't do that. Right, so I will... He's up for adoption. No thanks, I've got 4. 4 is enough cats. I don't need another cat. Right, I will see you all next time. Like I said, I will be live again next Wednesday. Let me just double check. Yeah, no, hang on. Yeah, next Wednesday. Because my partner's working a close again, so I'll be able to come live again. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for keeping it polite. Spread love, not hate, all that jazz. And try and keep positivity. If anyone needs to message me, my inbox is always open. Nostar, love you all.
Bye.
The Observer, providing you with the latest TikTok drama from across the UK.